You are now tuned in to the realest podcast.
MW, we back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Kodak was
not
funny.
Like funny. If you dry and
He
you
was
ugly,
funny.
but you ugly and you funny, you have a higher chance for sure.
Hold on, talk about.
You heard that. You heard that here right now.
Talk about. So
I mean, it's just facts.
Niggas, write that down, you ugly niggas.
For real. Take notes.
Y'all niggas better
Better
get some
pay
funny
for
out.
that.
Better get a joke book.
Well, not me.
I got a question. I got a real question though. Serious question based on what they were just saying. And no funny. Serious question. So if he approaches and it's not and this is just Earth 99. If there's an approach and the person's not attractive, man or woman, let's go there. But they have a sense of humor that you can relate to. Does that make you engage in the conversation? Because
Yes.
nah, but okay, this motherfucker funny. I'll stay here for a little bit.
Even if it doesn't go anywhere.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For
Okay.
sure, I'll
How many
admit.
drinks y'all getting up off them?
Oh, say it louder.
As many as he's offering.
Say it again. Speak it to the mic. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I said as many as he's offering.
Exactly what that nigga
Exactly.
giving. Exactly. Come on, man. I know how to.
I'm not gonna say your ugly
I don't
meter
know
stops
what it
here.
is.
One drink, please. Like, no.
It is what it is.
That ain't nothing funny about buying
Be
drinks.
quiet.
It's on you, man.
Exactly.
Ain't
That's
nothing funny
Ain't
about
nothing
it.
fun about buying
You
drinks.
got your attention. You said 2 of this, 1 of that.
Lewis will cut the tab.
Yeah.
So
Quick.
We're going to close that tab. over
Yeah.
there.
Hey, so is your tab predicated on if you like her or not?
Hell yeah.
Oh, all right.
Why would I spend
What?
money on
I
someone
wouldn't
I
even
don't
open
like?
the tab if I didn't even like her.
Every time.
Why would I spend money on someone I don't like?
Okay, so wait, so
You go-
wait,
I have
hold
no
on,
tabs.
hold on. Wait,
So you
question-
open a tab for a
Close
lady
that
you don't like?
Exactly. They don't either.
I open that tab for Millennials vs. the World.
I
We're having
close that
fun.
shit
But
right now.
do you open a tab if it's just harmless flirting? Like do you open a
That's
tab?
my
if it's
dog.
harmless
That is my dog.
Good question.
No,
That's
it's
my
not.
dog.
Yeah.
It's harmless flirting. So
No. No.
Hey, Lewis.
No, I'm not here for that.
I'm not.
Y'all know my
We harmless flirting, baby.
So you spending money on harmless
Hell
flirting?
no.
I ain't spending money on harmless flirting.
So
No.
So when do
It'll
y'all?
be a cold day.
Hey,
now.
hey,
You
so
get
when do
it.
y'all start
You
spending?
ain't get no money out of me, baby.
Damn.
Ha ha.
So-
Jokes on your ass.
No, I don't spend money on anything like that. I don't spend money on anything like
Okay,
that.
before the ring, you opening the tab?
I got married at 19. I don't know before the ring.
Ooh.
These are facts.
No,
you wouldn't know, would you?
Hey,
Nah.
that's
You
just
know.
all the young niggas. If you are harmless flirting, if you just meet somebody, you don't. Hey, listen, don't be so quick to get her a drink.
Hey, but let me
Oh,
say
no.
this. Hold on. Let me say
Find out
this.
if she like you first.
I disagree.
How long you gonna have to at the club? No.
I disagree.
Shit.
This is the
But you're not
problem.
gonna find out if I like you at the club if you're not.
Maybe
I'm
that's
not about to sit
if that's
there.
his entry into to the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like as a
I
man
ain't doing it in the club.
in the club, you gotta know that, like you said, like that's entry because you're not gonna know if I like you more
Right.
without that. Like if you feel like we're gonna sit at the bar and converse back and forth and you haven't bought me a drink. And I'm about to order myself another drink, and you think I'm about to engage with you? That's a no-go for me. I'm about to switch seats.
I respect
Because
that.
you're
I respect
not
that.
gonna
I
get
respect
the
that.
conversation out of me, and I'm paying for my own tab, but you think I'm gonna go back and forth
Whoa.
with conversation?
What- so we don't have to be drinking because we sitting at the bar.
If I'm meeting a woman,
We could just-
But realistically,
We could
She
just
said
be conversation.
Yes,
you know?
you say you can't. He can't talk to you if you don't buy your drink.
That's crazy,
what I'm
bro.
saying is if we're at the bar and you're
Right.
trying to figure out if I'm interested in you, and we're conversing, but I'm ready for my next drink, right? And you think this conversation is gonna go back, back and forth all night long. And when I go say, oh, okay, I want another margarita.
Shit.
I can
Tell
respect
her
that's
that.
Whose
different.
tab is
No,
this
you
margarita going on?
Yeah.
it should be on.
That's a
It's
little
gonna
different.
be on
Okay.
yours.
I
because
respect
if
that.
not,
I'm not gonna cap.
The
That's good.
conversation
No,
is
yes.
gonna end
You know
there.
what? I'm gonna tell you
The
what.
conversation is gonna end
Go ahead,
there.
Fair. If I get you that margarita, does that make you fuck with me more?
No.
Do you actually like me more? Do you
No.
respect me more? Do you even? Do you care about
The conversation
No.
is just going to continue.
It's just
It's just going to last longer.
So fellas, don't get shit. You hear me? Don't get us.
I mean, but the thing about
she don't respect it. It don't get you nowhere. That nice guy shit. What I tell you. Book her on the dance floor. You know what I'm saying?
No, it does
Cut
get
that
you
shit
somewhere
out.
because it's going to continue on with the conversation. If
shit
you was
out.
really feeling me,
Man,
So
I mean,
I gotta
honestly,
spend
I'm not
money.
gonna lie.
I
I
gotta
feel
spend money.
Princess.
Hold on.
I feel where
I
she's
gotta
coming
spend
from.
money on your drink to make sure that you feeling me.
Hold on, full context. No.
no.
Princess,
So
I
what
got you.
I'm saying is like, first of all, if I'm at the bar already, if I'm with my friends or my girls, if I'm not with a man, I was paying for my own drink. So
Okay,
let's be
facts.
clear about
Yes,
that. The drink
yes,
didn't fall out
yes.
the sky,
She
right?
got it wrong.
So if you approach me and you want to engage in a conversation with me and you think that this conversation is going to last for more than however it takes for me to finish this drink, the next drink needs to be on you, because if not, I'm going to go back to focusing on
Okay.
whoever I'm at the
You
bar
know
I'll give you
what?
that. I'm
You
with
know
that.
what? I
I'm with
agree.
that. I'm with that.
I like what you said. It seemed like initially it seemed like it's an expectation.
Okay. Yes.
But
yes.
that's the cost of your time.
Yes.
Right.
And
No,
I think
yeah,
that
yeah,
I think
yeah.
when you frame it in that context,
Yeah.
hey,
Yes.
because my time is valuable to me too. So if
Yeah.
you come,
Facts.
if I'm out doing something and you come and interrupt the engagement or the intent I had for this moment, then yeah, you got to do something to really own my time.
Yeah.
And I think
Exactly.
out of respect, I agree with it from that perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because
But
it
at
doesn't
first I
matter
didn't.
if I'm at the
Yeah,
bar by
for sure.
myself or like with my girls. If I'm at
Yeah.
the bar by myself, I came to this bar knowing that I'm gonna buy myself drinks.
Yep.
If I came to the bar with my friends, I came to the bar knowing that it's ladies' night, so I'm with my girls. So if you think that a stranger is gonna approach me and take my attention away from whatever the reason is that I came to the bar,
Yeah.
after I finished whatever drink that I had already paid for, you need to be contributing to that. Otherwise, the conversation is not going to go that far unless you gotta say something and I'm just like really like,
Nah.
I don't need to, like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
I actually agree. I hate it, but I agree with it.
I'm gonna be real with you
It's
though.
real.
I do.
I think it's the other thing though. I hate when people act like people. God, this gonna sound bad, but we in person.
Fuck what it
fucking-
sound like.
I've already
I don't care
sounded
what it
bad, apparently.
No,
But
you
that's
didn't.
what it's fine. I'm
you
real,
did.
though.
You made it. No,
Nah, but
you actually gave me some understanding.
But I hate when people act like people. I hate when men act like you don't have to spend your time and money to get somebody's attention. I just think that's the name of the game. Like,
Who's pursuing
You
who?
think so?
yeah.
Because if so, I would buy you a drink.
Okay, that's my next question. So if you
Hold on, I got you.
All right,
Keep
my
that.
bad.
Hey, keep that thought though. Keep that
got
thought,
you.
Lewis.
I
Keep that thought.
I got you.
But hey, look, keep that thought. But I want to say this: for you men out there that's single, your hand burning, Jergens, whatever you got going.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I think the piece that's missing though, bro, is that it's some element of she maybe ain't verbalizing, but she ain't happy.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something missing.
Yeah.
She ain't
Because
all
a
the
woman
way.
is
something
not
not
just gonna
there.
get
Right,
outside.
right,
If,
yeah.
if a man is taking care of whatever and she's as happy as can be, a woman is just not gonna be outside. I could be out with my friends, but I don't give a fuck. You could buy me a drink, but you ain't about to come between me and this one.
Right.
Okay. Last
Yeah.
Like-
question. Last question.
Nah.
How can? if
Shout
you
out to
know-
Greg. Shout out to Greg.
Yeah. Slim.
Wait.
Yeah, Slim.
G-Man.
Talking about G-Man. If all right, so let me just ask the last question. How can a man get that information out of her about what she's unhappy about?
Ask.
How can a man?
Ask
No. If
her.
it's not that simple to ask, if she's not giving it out, if
It
she's
is
not-
that
if
simple
she's
It's not.
giving it- if
It's
she's
not.
giving. She's
It's
not
not.
gonna tell you nicely at this point. If she's outside doing the fucking most, she's not gonna tell you nicely. So I'm saying, as a man, how can you ask her and get it in a nice palette that she's not gonna just cuss you out and tell you how you're a piece of shit?
Okay,
but
because
not
that's
tell you how-
because that's the part that I do want to clarify, right?
Okay.
Because you're asking for two things. You're asking for her to say it truthfully, and you're asking
nicely.
for her to say it nicely.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not going to get it both ways. So
Right.
I just want to start there. So I do want to start there because a lot of times women, when they're upset with you, they will let you know what they're unhappy about. Let's be clear. It might not be how you want to hear it. You might be in denial after. It might be one of those like she only said it because she's mad, right? But there are times, and I do think that a lot of times men don't ask the question of, are you happy? They don't. That's why I'm saying it is as simple as asking the question,
Medium.com.
but it's like, are you asking the right questions? You know what I'm saying? So if you do ask the right questions, you might get the answer.
I got a question. If he, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Princess. I don't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I got a reference question.
Go ahead.
Oh, here
I
we
was
go.
just gonna
Please
say,
talk along.
Most times a woman has already kind of pointed you in the direction and given you hints. And probably, hints.
Yeah.
Or pointed you in the direction because she feels like if she says it directly, it's going to offend you or the ego or, like whatever. And so, but trust and believe, before that woman is fully outside, she is giving you hints on why she's not happy. You may not have picked up on them, and that's fine, but it's just not going to drop out of the sky.
It never does.
Y'all giving women too much benefit of the doubt. I mean, I get it. I feel it. I feel like a grown woman would say that. But I feel like a lot of women aren't that emotionally mature, not that emotionally intelligent. They feel more comfortable in expressing their emotions, but that doesn't mean it comes off respectful. It doesn't mean it comes off in a way that it should, or that a way that it's even palatable.
So who did you want the answer from? Because you asked a question about how you can get something from women.
Right.
We're telling you as women. Who did you want the answer
accepted
from?
that. I said as adult women, right? I said as grown women.
You said that we are giving women the benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
So I'm saying, who did you want the answer from?
Maybe the women that
I
you.
want the benefit of the doubt from women that. How do you take place from women that you don't know? That's what I'm saying.
No, maybe it's the women that you.
That's why
maybe
we
are
call her
interacting
King
with.
Louis.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm interacting with. I'm saying, bro.
Because hold on, Marcus. Hold on, Marcus. Hold on. It's more women than these two women right here.
for sure.
So that's my point.
So this is a palette of women that aren't the majority. It's not the mass. So I'm not about to speak on the mass as if these two queens. That's not
Right.
it, bro.
Okay, I got you.
But
Shit not be shit don't
Yeah.
look like that. You know
But
what
I
I'm saying?
also feel like the opposite woman is just gonna be turned the fuck up from the get go. If you ain't doing something, she gonna be like, nigga, you blip, 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 blip,
Right.
because she don't give a fuck. She really don't like your ass anyway.
God damn.
Soft
man
man
era.
era.
You
You know what I'm
Witness
saying? So
for
I
a
feel like
shot.
she's gonna be more direct because the woman who's really like caring about you, we're gonna give the hints and be more subtle with it before we get to that point.
No, I agree.
But a
I
woman
agree.
who's like the opposite, they don't give a fuck.
Can
Like we're gonna be outside. Like we're gonna say what we gotta say, whether it hurts your ego or not, because the next nigga's on my line anyway.
Oh shit! What line is that?
And that's
I
just
know.
the reality of the situation. So
So it's not going to be palatable.
Yeah.
To your
So can
second
I ask a question to what she
Next
said?
nigga on line too.
No, yo, you're wild.
answer the phone.
Yeah, so I got a question. I got a question to that. Niggas got the joint when they working from home. They get a joint when they like, hey, hold on, we got a lot to. Hey, hold on, like, yes. Hey,
I'm
that
nigga
work
number
from home
two.
era real crazy right now.
I'm nigga number 2.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I got a question. Honest.
I'm that nigga she clicking over for.
Yeah. Hey, and hang it up right after she hit. Yo.
Fucking Lewis, he keeps calling.
This what that nigga look like right here. Look at that.
Hey, no. Hey, for real.
Hey yo.
Get your man.
Hey man, we gotta stop.
No, we
Wrap
don't.
it up.
I got a question, ladies. I got a question. Hold on, fellas. I want to ask them
Look at
this.
mine, boy. I'm about to
I
get
want
in
to ask them
trouble.
this question. If you like, so if y'all like him, how much patience do you show trying to communicate with hints and conversation? If
That's
you
a
like
good question.
him, how much patience are you willing to show if he's not receiving the hints, not receiving the communication? How much patience is there?
I didn't look at each other.
A lot more than if I don't like you.
No, that's not. No. You're not getting out of that easy. How much patience are you willing to show? Is it 5 hints? Is it 6 months? Is it?
I really don't have.
I'm
like
just saying,
a-
like, how much patience are you? So, like, is it that if you give hints, he doesn't show change? It's time to go. When does it get from hints to like straight up, like, because I like you and you're not catching hints? Like, how much patience are you showing said thing because you like him? That's 37 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I really don't have have a specific number on it, but I would say if I really, really like you, I'm going to give you a lot of hints first, because if I like you, 9 times out of 10, I respect you, and I already know how I can be, so I don't want to lay it on you the way it's running through my head. And I also don't want to lose whatever it is that we have. So I'm going to give you multiple hints. And if the hints aren't picking up, then that's when I get direct, which is my natural persona anyway.
Like about the tumblers.
Yep.
Like about the tumblers.
She is direct.
Hopefully I'll be receiving tomorrow.
Like direct TV.
Expeditiously.
No, she didn't. Look at her.
Direct TV.
Direct that shit from jump.
Yeah. And it also depends on the situation too.
I get that. All right. So, AJ, what's your thoughts on that?
Very similar. Like, I think it depends also if it's something that's new, right? So if it is something that's like, I mean, there's so many factors, because if it's something that's like a part of, because we talked about things that are a part of your personality, right? So it's like, if I know that there's something that it's like, I don't like it about you because it's like a trigger for me, or I feel like I like you, right? But there's that one thing that I'm like, I feel like we can change that, right? And not in a way of like changing who you are as a person, but just for the benefit of the relationship, right? And the longevity of it. I think then I would be like, okay, like that requires patience, because that has been in your life. You've been doing that since way before me, right? So I think I owe that to you, to give patience there. But I do think, like, I agree with everything else Princess said. There is an additional layer though for me that's like, I'm not, because I am a very direct person, but if you've been doing
the Monday
it,
Night Crew is full of those. Just so you know.
That's very true.
Every other Monday, there's full of them.
A lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well. But
you ain't gotta never think of. You never got to worry.
oh no, we're telling you, straight shooters.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about everybody.
It is.
No, for real.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Nah, for real.
It's the best way to do things, right? But I think that if I start talking to my girls about it, my intensity level, because now I'm taking on what I've talked to my girls about. That's why a lot of times I don't like talking to my girls about certain things.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's like, if it gets me to a place that I'm so annoyed, or I feel like you're not hearing me, and I've given the hints, I've actually said it to you directly, and it's still an ongoing thing, and then I vent to my girls about it.
Hey, so when you talk to your girls, are you looking for ways to overcome it, or are you just talking about it to just get it out? Because that may adjust how you receive it and how that, you know what I mean?
It depends what friend I talk to. So for instance, like, I know that I go to Brit if I want to actually overcome a thing and work through a thing.
So which one of your friends ain't shit?
We love you.
Shout out to Brit.
Shout out to Brit.
We mentioned and DJ J Dub too.
Shout
You
out
mentioned.
DJ
So I got a
J-Dub.
question. So you talk to Brett. So which friends ain't shit when you talk to them? Like, he got to go.
Oh, they're all shit, right? So let's start there. But the ones that I know that I can go to when I need somebody that's really gonna ride for me, that's really gonna be like no, sis, like, I really see your point. That's gonna validate me only. So no correction, no adjustments. That's only gonna validate me, is my best friend.
Is that dangerous?
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah, that's dangerous.
Oh, 1,000%.
I'm just asking.
But that's why
we having a real
I
conversation.
agree with it regardless.
It's true, but that's why I really am. I try not to talk about certain things with my friends. Like, as women, we are very aware of the roles that our friends have in our lives. So we know if it's a friend that we're going to just vent about, we know the end result of it. So I know if I go to Brit, I know I can vent, but then she's also going to tell me how to adjust. And you know what I'm saying? But I also know if I go to my best friend, she's going, no matter how much I say, no, girl, I think it's my fault, she's going to make sure that I leave that conversation knowing it's that nigga's fault.
So I got a question.
I don't have
Even if it's
anybody
your fault.
that will. I don't have anybody that will just agree with me.
No.
Nah.
Not one person. Everybody's gonna challenge me.
And I'll say this because
I don't have anyone that'll do that.
and
I need
these are my
somebody like
friends.
that.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I could find better ones, I would get more. But I'm stuck with these things.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
That's crazy because
That
we all said the same thing. I thought he was going to join in.
But that's a whole nother. See,
That's a real conversation.
it is.
Yeah, like
That's a real
you could not
conversation.
have you could not have the responsibility.
See,
That's a
You
real
want to
conversation.
tiptoe around that?
But
You
Kenan,
could not have the
That's a
responsibility.
real conversation.
This is the thing. This is what my problem would be. Louis, you told me, you know what I'm saying? Lil, I can show the text. He told me not to go here. I'm saying.
Are you talking about like whose decision that is? Was that what you're talking about?
I'm not gonna go there.
I'm not talking about that.
No, because you know what I really disagree with? I'm gonna tell you what I really disagree with, and I probably shouldn't do this.
Here we go. Wait, look at that camera. That's your
What I
camera.
really disagree with, I hate when a woman of a very high value, you doing stuff with niggas that can't even touch what your quote unquote standard is, and you mess around and have one, and then you mad at him, but you wasn't operating on your level no way.
Where's the door is over here? Where's the door? Get the hell out of here. Hey, you know, hey, bro, I'm gonna stand on that. I literally had that. My wife and I literally just had that conversation.
Because what happens is,
I agree.
it was fun. We had one too many shots. You did this, and you don't agree with the lifestyle, no nothing. You thought he was cute. You did it, and now we supposed to feel bad? You did it. Get me?
But does him not being on the level equate to him not taking care of his kids?
I got a question. Yes. Yes, it do. Because anybody that's responsible is on the level, and I can put money on that.
So
No.
hold on. So
No.
yeah, the way you phrased
You
it initially.
can be responsible and still not be on somebody's level.
So yeah, what do you mean defined by somebody's level?
Yeah.
What I mean is this: if he's in a different place in life than you, right? Money looks different. I ain't even getting into that. You understand what I'm saying? If he's in a different place, if he's responsible, a child is not going to change who he is. He's going to be responsible regardless. Usually responsible men are able to do that. Whether they agree, okay, I did this, it happened, I'm gonna take care of that. So level to me is responsibility.
Okay.
Because women are stuck with it anyway, right? If we're gonna be honest, correct?
Yeah, if you choose to keep it, yeah.
Okay, if you choose to keep it, right? Cool. So I'm pretty sure if the level of game is acknowledged, you know for a fact, like, damn, he can't do nothing for me, but I'm having fun tonight. If you have that thought and you do it anyway, I can't feel bad.
So what happens when, right? Like what happens when that woman that's a high value woman, all the things, right? And then like she's rocking with a man that she knows is, I don't want to say like beneath her, but like just on a lower level, right? To your point, beneath her, exactly.
Not on the same level.
Right, not on the same level. But he is having these conversations like, I am ready. Like, I do want this. I want to be a family. I'm ready to step up, all the things. And then he's saying the right things.
And then it happens, and then he don't do nothing.
And then he backs out.
Yeah.
What?
You caught me on a good night. Because I'm going to say it tonight.
Okay.
You know what the problem is? When women get to a certain level, they operating high, right? Their needs become basic. And guys that's not operating at the financial level or career level or professional level can satisfy that basic need that they've been longing for. She just want to laugh. She got everything else. I can make you laugh. That's where the buck stops with me, because, hey, you got bread. You got your house. You got the cars. You're not looking for that in a guy. You just want to be comfortable. I'll listen. I can make you laugh. So all those basic needs that you no longer get from all the, and just saying this as a caveat, like not caveat, but saying this as general. I'm gonna generalize for a second. Say you're in corporate America and you're a woman and you're dealing with those type of men. That's very high level all the time. You get sick of dealing with that, so you want to come home and chill. Am I tripping?
You want balance, yeah. Yeah.
So he comes, right, and then he makes you laugh. He not hanging up. He gonna listen to that.
Okay.
Then you mess around with the mess around. Because he was doing the basic thing.
He comes again.
And he came too many times. so he does that. You know what I'm saying? He does that. And then now you're looking like, damn, he's not on my level. He never was. But your basic need from a long time ago was never met. And now I'm scratching that itch, even though all the other boxes are checked. And you mess around with a guy that's, hey, not on your level. That's what I'm saying.
That actually, I'm mad that made sense.
That made sense. But I mean, I think, but we're just looking at levels like financially, right?
No. I think when women, this is the thing, women are emotional at their root. So it's always going to top back to that, regardless of what level she's on. Women find a way to ignore these emotions to get what they need. When they're grinding, I'm thinking about me. Cool. Because emotional intelligence, your brain, the way the brain works doesn't allow you to like, oh, I'm not going to be smart this day. you know that you got to block this out to get that. But there becomes a point like, you know what? Damn, I laughed yesterday with John from the block. I want to laugh again. I'm gonna hit his number back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you mess around with John. But remember, John ain't got much going on. He just made you laugh. And then you mess around with John, he tearing them drawers out. And then what happened. You're looking like how you end up with him. Because he made you laugh. And people don't want to admit, because the laugh got that ass, is what happened.
Yeah,
and now you stuck with him, and he never presented as a responsible individual. He presented as John that can make you laugh.
That's true.
I think. Go ahead, Louis.
That's more of a short term dose. That's more of a short term fix. When I think when you think about that, yeah, because it's those things are more temporary. When you have a child, that's a lifetime commitment.
It is. Right.
For sure.
So I think that women who have the capacity to operate at that high level should be able to differentiate maybe a short term satisfaction situation as opposed to tying that into a long-term commitment. So I would assume that a woman that is what you're saying operating at that level would be able to differentiate.
Okay.
At some point. Because that is temporary.
That's where I'm getting with it, and I believe in the woman's choice.
Okay.
So if I'm operating at a high level, I don't care who I'm having fun with. There's a decision that has to be made
By the woman.
Or
By the woman.
that's a whole nother conversation, because if the woman wants it and the man says that he doesn't, then where does the responsibility lie? Because he already told you he didn't want anything to do with that child. But some people would say, okay, well, if he already told you off gate he don't want anything to do with the child, if you choose to have it, then are you still holding him at that same level of responsibility? So there's an argument with that as well.
When he committed to that when he engaged in activity.
True. But
That's his commitment.
But
I just feel like there's a choice.
I can hear that.
Yeah, but that's but by law, he's still responsible.
Oh yeah, by
So
law.
the choice is not. I think that's my only. Whenever we talk about issues like that, I try to steer away because I don't feel like that's my place as a man. But I will say the choice is made when you lay down. That's the
You
only
have to be
time.
careful
That's
who you
the
lay
only
down
time.
with.
That's the time the choice is made, not post. Whatever happens, the choice is made when you lie down.
Yeah.
And then you both are responsible for what happens in that situation. Yeah. So regardless of what he tells you, he's not going to be. He already made his decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to start pot no more. Next question. Because I really do believe, and I like the choice. I do because, hey, bro,
Go there.
What we doing?
Yeah.
It's real and authentic. Let's go.
I really stand on the line of is like women don't know. Earth 99.
Say more, please.
Hey, why do you keep telling them about what they do?
Thank you.
That's why
We'll let him finish.
That's why I said say more. That's why I
Let's
said
hear
more.
Women don't understand. To me, I don't care. I'm generalizing.
In my opinion.
I'm just
I got
saying.
you.
Yeah.
How much men desire that thing?
What thing?
Come on, man.
No, be specific.
Come on, man.
It is powerful.
Okay. It definitely is.
It
What's
is.
your-
It's
Women
powerful.
don't understand how much men desire it. So the length that he's willing to go to in order to get that with nothing else considered can be insane. Especially if I feel the initial like, oh damn, you like, you know what, this gotta happen. And even if it don't, in a guy's mind, it's like, I gotta know that it's bad, so I'm gonna try it anyway. I don't care what nobody say. Lewis, am I lying?
To a certain point.
Okay. Thought to
You desire it until a certain point. Because it's been some that you got and you desired and you got tired of that too. And you maybe wanted something different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was weak in my flesh, it did control a lot of my decisions. I would be further in life. I'd be the president if I'm being dead serious. If I didn't,
honestly, 2028 was happening.
if it wasn't for me getting exposed to that, I'd probably be the president because I would be focused.
Yeah.
So I think,
Of the PTO, of the elementary school.
man, of the United States, because when you take that out of your your needs list, you become more focused.
For sure.
And as I've matured as a man, right, I've realized that how much of a priority I was putting on that, right? And here's the deal: you're gonna get it anyway. If you really that guy, you're gonna get it anyway. So don't put it on the pedestal, as they would say. But my point, and it's the truth. You're gonna get it anyway. Hey, but overall, I will say, even times where it's controlled me, once I got to the mountaintop, right, multiple times, I still would be empty.
Yeah.
And then when I go back to that, now you got to offer me something different. And then that's really what I've been looking for the whole time.
So I want to respond to two things, and I'm probably going to be quiet. So I agree with that, but the point I was making is guys desire it so much that y'all don't. Sometimes I don't think women know the control they have over a guy's mind because of how bad we desire it. Back to the women choice thing. We want it so much that when it gets shut down or when we don't get it, you all have complete control over that.
So your stature respond later on. So do you feel like women have to mature to that place?
Absolutely. It definitely comes with the level of maturity.
Yeah.
And that
go ahead, Jay.
And that's why I was even like me talking about like once again like these movements. Like there have been conversations that I was not able to always have even with my homegirls that I'm now able to have, right? Because it first you start having these conversations, like to Britt's point, it's in the back of your head, and then you start to think the same way that y'all are like, wait, nah, like that's not true for real. For a lot of us, it's like, wait, oh, y'all were thinking it too. Okay, so it's not just in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay for us to have fun because we don't also want to be labeled either. Right. We also don't want it to be seen like,
and that's heavy on the woman's side.
Exactly. Anybody could just say anything or do anything, and we're just wide open at the same time. So I think like even us talking about like the safety part, it does go both ways, right? So to Keenan's point, yeah, the guy also has to feel safe enough, but I do also just want to say like for us as women, we have a lot of conversations with ourselves before we talk to anybody else about it. And then it honestly takes that one friend that's a little more free, that's having that conversation. And then it's like, oh, wait, I'm not crazy. Okay, cool. And then it becomes okay. And then I know we talk about her a lot, but like in society, but like Amber Rose, when she started doing like, this is me, it is what it is, I think a lot more women were like,
That's me too.
That's I identify with that. That wasn't always the case. So I think to your point, I think it has come like it's changed over time.
I'm not going to dispute that. That was well said, Asia.
Oh my God.
Say what you gotta say.
I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say because I really do believe you all. So I'm not going to rebuttal because I really do believe what you all are saying is true. Y'all talk.
The thing about it is, if we can help someone, we hope we're helping someone. We know we're not helping you too, but
there's still hold on. No, we can still there's certain conversations I'm still learning to have.
Right.
I think that's the beauty in marriage too, is that it's an ongoing kind of situation, and not to get too deep. I'm sorry, baby, but that's part of our marriage evolves too.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Should.
And I have to ask about stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
He's so
we're gonna go back. We're gonna try this. But I'm being serious, right? But it's funny because when we were younger, we would laugh about stuff like that. But I'm like, hey, I'm serious.
This is a real
Like, hey, baby, try this. It's coming one day, so you might as well prepare yourself. Try this
And as the years progress, it's going to be even more and more of that. Like everyone, I feel like in 2024, like everyone is just so free. That's the term I'll use. Like everyone is just free. I said is the term that I was gonna use.
Once we start progressing, he got it.
But so as time goes on, like there's gonna be more and more conversations that you're gonna have, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married. Like there's gonna be more conversations that need to be had because some stuff like we were raised to just not talk about, or you be this way and that's it.
That's why I'm not going. This is going to go left, but I'll say it.
Go left.
I am. That's why the whole booty eating conversation is crazy because when we came up, hold on, hear me out.
Let him finish. Let him finish. There's some good stuff.
I'm telling you the truth. When we were coming up, was that even a part of the conversation?
No, it was not a part of the conversation.
Right.
But now it's common.
Yeah. Like, oh, bro, like what?
Yeah.
So even if so I believe there's
Microphone. I'm just playing, bro.
I'm burning. Okay, man, I gotta go back with it. Hey, man. Hey, Mike. Hey, check that. That's Mike 1, burn it. Nah, but I'm saying though, like, to that point, like, seriously, like, I said this on an episode of time about fantasies and marriage and stuff, right? 9 times out of 10, you learn that stuff early, like, that's crazy. But you feel guilty for feeling like that fantasy is super crazy, right?
But let me also just say, not just for the man, for the woman too. When we were growing up, people weren't talking about eating booty. I feel like when it came popular was the song
Janae Aiko.
booty like groceries.
Yeah.
That's when people really started like, oh, like he eating my booty. Like that's when, like I would say from the female perspective, that's when we kind of started talking about it openly if whoever you was dealing with was eating your booty like groceries. Right. Because prior to that, like that was not a conversation.
It wasn't.
It was not a conversation. That sparked it, but that sparked it from the woman's perspective. But now I feel like as the years have went on in 2024, that's now when we're talking about it from the man's perspective.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The only point I was making is like to the point you said about not having a conversation. That wasn't even in when I was talking to my bros. It's connected over here. When I was talking to my bros, it was not even like you talked about stuff like that. Right. I'm gonna be honest. I go there. If you was getting head in high school, you was a man. Cause that was taboo back then. Like she ain't saying
For black girls, it was.
Yep, that's exactly what I was about to say. It also depends on who you were dealing with and where we went to school at. You already know the type of woman that you had to be dealing with to be getting that.
110%.
Yeah.
So it was like you did like, hold on, what? And so as that progressed, it's like, no, you now like. That's not a part of my, and I'm just being real, that's not a part of my sexual desires, because that's not something that was in my bag and ain't gonna get in my bag. You know what I'm saying? But to the point is like, I think this, and this is the point I want to make about conversations and growth and things. It's when you find your person, you just a little more open. You're a little more willing. Absolutely. You're a little more flexible.
Yeah.
You're a little more, whatever the case may be. And I want to say this out loud. You do not have to be married to have found your person. It's progression. Some people find them and they like, oh, 6 months. They like, but not real talk though. Like I've realized like they're like, damn, she really was my person at 19. But you know, I had to grow and learn that. You know what I'm saying? But like I think there's too much pressure on the legal union. Because people may not dive enough into the homework of like, is this person really for me or do I want that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
true.
then when you find your
That's
person, it's like,
true.
oh damn, like that shit easy. When we want to do it,
Yeah,
we can go because I'm already locked in with you. That's cool.
Right.
Because I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut up. It's 3 levels. You like somebody, you love somebody, and then you locked in. When you get the locked in, those conversations Louis getting at is like, hey man, don't be doing that shit, man. You know the Princess song. You saw a Princess?
I don't even know. I'm having a moment, but go ahead.
I thought they were taking the time on that.
No. He was no.
I know you better not.
Buzz on my watch.
You better not.
And
Hey man, shut up. But nah, man. I really just want to say, like, finding your person doesn't always mean you got to be married. You find them important. You're a little more open, a little more flexible.
That's very true.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm gonna tell you, I looked up.
me too.
Boy.
Do y'all feel that way because you found your person so young? Like you looked up because
I'm gonna say some real shit.
I don't want to. That's really common in my friendship circles that I have currently.
Sorry, I'm not trying to dig deep, but I'm really interested in this conversation. And Brittany and AJ, I want y'all to answer, but Princess, I want to follow up to that. Is it because there's certain things y'all don't talk about, or there's certain things that don't get discussed, or there's a distantly close type of relationship where you don't have situations to get into it about? Does my question make sense? Like you okay. Yeah. Does it make sense though? Does the question make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I feel like even the conversations that we need to have that are hard, we have it, but in a respectful way. Like if it's something going on in your life that I just feel like, I don't agree with, like I'm able to tell my friends and we're able to move on from it. Even if there's a period where what I said may have like, it stung you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you couldn't stand me in the moment, so maybe you stopped talking to me for a couple of weeks. After a couple of weeks, when you get over it, we start back talking again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even a matter of like, oh, we're upset with each other. It's just that someone tells you something that maybe you don't want to hear in that moment. Even if what I said was right, and even if I, however I said it, whether it was nice, whether it wasn't nice, if someone tells you something about yourself or a situation that you're going through and you're not ready to hear it right then, someone's going to take it a certain type of way regardless. Yep. And so most times, we just take a step back and then we reconvene whenever we're ready to reconvene. But we don't fall out over it versus people who have fickle friendships, they'll just completely fall out over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Britt, I'm gonna ask Britt, then Asia. Is it? Oh yeah, go ahead, Asia. I want to hear this.
No, I was just gonna say it's interesting because I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and it was this woman. I was trying to find her name, but she basically was talking about that, right? She's done so much research on just women's relationships because they are so complex and so unique. And one of the things that she found, Danielle Bayer Jackson, one of the things that she found is like a lot of times we don't even know how to fight for our friendships, like as women. Sometimes we are just like, okay, cool. Like it's not, we live in this, like, if it doesn't serve me, then okay, bye. Without actually doing the work of, yeah, there are some relationships that definitely need to end. But there are also some relationships and some dynamics that it's like, if we've been friends since high school, and then I went away, like in my situation, I have friends that I've been very close with since high school, but like I moved away. We did not go to the same college. And then we all live in different states. So every time we get back together, they only know me or they always go back to the way that I was in high school. I'm a very, very different person. And so I find that the friendships that I've actually had the longest are sometimes a little bit more difficult to have those conversations with than the friends that I have made more recently because they know me as I am right now. I'm pretty settled in how I am and how I operate. And so my friends now, they know the small things about me that friends that I've had for a longer period of time that I have not seen or I don't see on the regular that they don't even know about me anymore because that part of me might have changed, right? And so I think it's about learning how to evolve with the people that you're in friendships with and being willing to realize, oh, they might not be the same person. Am I willing? Is the present me willing to be friends with the present you? That may or may not be true. Like if I met some of my friends now as they are in high school,
that's good.
I don't know that we will be as cool, right? And vice versa. And so I think it's being able to like know how to end friendships well, because I think that's important. And then I think also just learning which ones are the ones that are worth fighting for and how to do that.
That's good.
So I'll answer the original question. So for me, as Jay has stated before, you know what I'm saying? Me and my friends have had some intense conversations. You know what I mean? I think with dudes, my friends, we more like if we get into it, it's like it's like a tidbit of aggression. We get off, but like, oh yeah, we gonna see about that shit tomorrow though. Like we gotta go tonight, but we gonna tap back into this tomorrow. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like we gonna rap about it. Me, I'm very big on like I can't start the next thing without closing that off. We don't have to agree. We don't have to like come to like peace treaty, be like, oh hey bro, we straight. Nah, but if it's a real true issue, I can't let it go until we come to some type of next step. If the next step is let it breathe, bro, we're not on that. We're not gonna bring it up until said time. Cool. If next step is like, nah, dog, like you said some records, I need you to, justify or verify that. Cool. But I think the thing is, like, Brittany, I actually said this to you, but we were talking about something else. It's hard for me to see. I've only fell out with one close friend my whole life, and I never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. And to this day, I can openly say I miss him. It's not the same, but like it was a life decision. You know what I'm saying? But in that very same regard, it's like, okay, my other friends, I don't want to go through that shit. Like, hey man, all right, and we ain't gonna talk for a little bit, but we'll get it together when we got to come back around. As far as boundaries go, my boundaries are the same with everybody. If we talking and you say something, my wife, my kid, you win. I don't get into that. You say your wife, your kid, bro, I ain't messing with that. I don't say nothing at all. If you have something going on that's dealing with your family, because every time it come to mind, I'm riding with that anyway. So my friends say that. Now, when I say don't talk about it, I mean like say if it don't even matter if you lying. Say if it's about coming to something or something about if you can or can't do something, and you say my wife, my kid, or my baby, oh, you good, bro? Go ahead. I ain't gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be nothing because I don't play about that. You know what I'm saying? My two rules. If you got my last name, man, you live in my house. Both gotta apply. Then ain't nobody. That's just my thing. So if those people have your last name and they stay in your crib, I'm not messing with it. Those really my only boundaries. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, mess with that too far. Too far.
Got you. That makes sense. Britt, did you want to add to that?
The moral of the story is
fair or foul. Hey, so hey, I'm not.
Play that again. Play that again,
Hey,
Keenan.
Oh, you want me? Hey, look, listen, I'll break it down for him again. I'll break it down. Yes, lit, all right. So this one I have not put up. Y'all know lately the fair fouls that create a really good conversation. If you don't follow us on social media, it's at Millennials versus the World _podcast. We do fair or foul every week. Tap in with us. So this is my question for you all. It's more so for the ladies, and then we're gonna get the guys' perspective. Fair or foul? You with somebody, he really loves you. He asks for your hand in marriage with no ring, but he's there for the commitment. It doesn't change anything. Everything is good. He wants you, but baby, I just ain't got the ring right now. Fair or foul?
Then why did he propose then? Why did he not wait until he had the ring?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, why did he wait?
Kills me, bro. Like. Okay, so foul. Asia, you saying foul?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Princess, that's foul.
Yes.
It's foul.
Brittany, that's foul.
yes.
Can I ask all three of y'all a question? He gets a ring. He gets a ring. Would you critique it?
No, that's stupid.
Y'all lying
ass.
I didn't say anything.
So he come with a
I
little
didn't say
pistol.
anything.
Y'all gonna be cool with that.
Well,
He comes with the what? Why would he not be prepared? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Thank
I didn't
you.
say
Please.
anything.
No.
I didn't answer.
No. I'm gonna answer this because, and this is I guess based on experience, and with my friends that are married, right? I've never proposed. I don't know, but well, whatever. What I'm saying is, I have not heard, I guess, that the male does not know what type of ring his lady would want, like his lady, like that. And this is, I've literally, one of my friends had a full committee and legit was just like, y'all, I don't know about rings. I don't know about none of that stuff. What does she like? Gets help about it, or ask the woman, like, what type of ring would you want? I feel like that those types of conversations do happen. And so especially in the moment of an engagement, I don't think it gets critiqued like that. I think it's one of those things from what I've heard from my friends later on, they're like, all right, they want the second ring or whatever, however that works. But I have not seen it where the guy wouldn't know what type of ring. And speaking personally, I don't see my man not knowing what kind of ring that I would want for it to be something that I would have to critique.
Okay.
And speak about me as a woman. Maybe other stories I don't know, but for me,
he can't. Asia, he can't afford the ring you want. He gets the one he can afford.
No, then you need to wait.
Time out. All right, I'm sorry. I got to get in here. Wait a minute now.
It ain't our time, Louis.
So you three have agreed that it's foul for him to make a commitment without a symbol of that commitment, as opposed to his willingness to commit to you. So you're saying to me, from what I'm hearing,
him being willing to commit to you to marry you is not as important as him having a ring to symbolize that commitment.
I wouldn't say that there's lack of importance, Lewis. I would just say that you can commit to somebody, but the ring symbolizes the commitment. So without it, your words are just like any other words. Check yes or no if you'd like to be my boyfriend. Like, it's yes, you're saying I'm going to marry you, or I would like to marry you, or let's take our relationship to the next level. The ring secures the bag. Like the ring lets me
So what
know.
do my actions?
Not an
What do my
engagement ring.
actions do then?
Your actions prove it all too. I'm not discrediting that at all. But what I'm saying is, in order for so to take it, it's a symbolism. It symbolizes the next step. It comes with it, right? Like, so when you put a ring on my finger, like that's lock and key. The only other thing is to do our vows before God. So I feel like
And sign papers.
and sign papers.
Yeah.
You forget the papers.
That's
But
the only thing that makes it official, by the way, is the paperwork.
You're absolutely right. It bounds us together, right? Them legal documents. However, the ring symbolizes, however it came about in society, what marriage is and what engagement is. If not, like to me, and I'm not discrediting those words, that commitment, the action you put into that. But what I'm saying is that if you hand me a ring with the engagement and the words, then I can it's a reassurance that this is really going to happen.
So what does he get?
Point.
Hold on. Can I ask y'all something, like, for the guys that are like married, right? Would y'all like tomorrow just like not have any more wedding bands, like at all? Like you would go to the ceremony, say your vows, say all the things, plan the wedding with no ring, like you or your wife?
So can I ask you a question? While we're engaged, what symbol do I have of your commitment to me?
That's what I was about to ask, Kenny.
So can I wait? Hold on. And let me just say something to this, because I have actually been talking about this for a while. One of my homegirls, she got her fiance like this super nice watch, like really expensive watch, right? I have another friend that she got her man. It was like somewhat a basketball, something, whatever. But it was something that was super meaningful to him, right? And so I will agree and say I actually am an advocate for having the male engagement gifts, only because it really hasn't happened. I didn't even know it was a thing, but I have two homegirls that have done that. But that's not traditional. Like, so if you don't know, you don't know, right? So to that point,
yeah. And I just feel like the whole commitment thing, like someone can say, I want to marry you. I want you to be my wife. Like they can say that while we are in a relationship and dating. But it doesn't become official. Like, yeah, you can tell me all day you want me to be your wife, but it really does not solidify it until you come and get down on one knee with that ring. That's just how it works.
No, it don't. It don't work that way.
It does work that way. Are you living in here?
Yeah, I am.
Wait a minute.
It don't work that way.
Can I ask y'all something, like as guys? Can I ask y'all something? Is the ring, like for you all as men, right? Is the ring, and I'm not saying this like for a specific answer, but is the ring not like a part of the engagement for y'all? Like being able to say, like, I worked hard to get this ring for my person. Like, is that not like a part of your pride? Like, where you take pride in putting that ring on her finger to make that commitment? Like, is that not a part of?
You ain't convincing me. For the purposes of this conversation,
I'm not trying to. I'm really.
I will say that.
Yeah, I'm say no.
I don't know what that.
No. I say yeah, Asia, it does. But yes, to answer your question, yes. But my thing about that is the point I'm trying to make is like what y'all are saying is he's committed all those things. He knows the type of ring you want. He can't afford it. So y'all rather wait longer to get married till he can afford something that you want instead of going to go get married?
I think that there are levels to that.
Okay,
like
talk to me.
My dream ring, like if we're talking about 8 carats, not, you know what I'm saying, like that's unrealistic. But I feel like a realistic ring that I feel like is realistic for me, yes, I would like to wait on that. Like, no, I don't want to walk around with, no, I don't. And what some people's idea of what I may be envisioning in my mind may be totally off. But sometimes I feel like people just give you whatever because it's like, oh, this is what I can afford now. I just feel like we can wait a little longer.
What do you
Personally. But
envision
I
as your
feel
husband? So what's more important, the husband or the ring? Because you laid that ring out, but do you spend what's more valuable to you? Because I could give you something of monetary value that could satisfy this idea that you're looking to execute. But if I give you me, which is ultimately the prize, which is ultimately going to last longer. I bought 3. Now I'm on my 3rd engagement ring, right? But I'm truly what the commitment is. So I think that. And this is why, for the purposes of this conversation, Asia, I'm gonna say no, but I do agree. It is a certain level of pride. But what I think is more important, what is more important that I think we lose sight of is the man, right? That's the commitment. Because if for what it takes for us, in my opinion, what it takes for me to commit to you and say, hey, willing to marry you, is bigger than any money I could ever give. So for you to quantify, it or reduce it to just being a symbol that you've imagined because society has told you that's how it's supposed to go, as opposed to what it is truly meant to be, is a connection and a oneness of us coming together and me really telling you and demonstrating through my actions my commitment to you. I think that is what's paramount. And I feel like we lost sight of it.
What would that engagement even look like? Like how would that go, right? Because
why do we have to get engaged? Why do we have to get?
No, Lewis, let's slow down for a second. The question is fair or foul a ringless engagement. The question is a ringless engagement.
Yeah.
So what will it's a genuine question. What will the engagement look like without a ring? Because for me, what would make that different? What would make that different than us having like a really good conversation about the plans that you have for us in the future? Like, if y'all could tell me what that proposal would be, I would love to hear that. Like, I get
on one knee. I get on one knee and say my vows to you instead of a ring. What I plan on doing and what I plan on getting married to you.
Y'all, I just think that this is so like no. If I feel like you talking to me as a 31-year-old woman, like no. If I was 21, maybe we could have this hypothetical conversation about somebody proposing to me without a ring. But as a 31-year-old fully grown woman, yes, I feel like the man comes first, and that is very important to me, the love that I have with my partner. However, at this day and age and time, I expect for you to come with something. If you want me to be your wife, you should be able to afford the ring. And that doesn't mean the most expensive ring that I can dream of, but you should be able to come with something that you feel like I am deserving of.
It shows value. It shows our value to you, like with the commitment.
So Brittany, I was with Brittany.
Y'all listen. If y'all would listen, another thing that men don't really like to do.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Here you go.
When I talk about value, I say this. If I'm asking you for a $50 million ring, I completely understand if you come to me with something told like super small and I'm like, what? Right. No, blah, blah, blah. That's not the woman you need to marry. But what I'm talking to you about, what I'm saying is that when you put it out there, right? We talked about symbolism. We talked about commitment. Lewis, I 100% agree with you. I am the man coming. I am the man showing you the actions. It is bigger than the ring. You're absolutely right. But my worth and my value has meant something to you just as much as you mean something to me. And this is what you are showing or what you worked hard for to go and get and say, hey, listen, I'm giving this to you as a woman to show that we are locked in. I'm sure this is the tie, the commitment, the whatever, down on one knee. Because like Asia said to me, if that proposal of you, even if you get on one knee and say, hey, let me take you to the altar, let's do this, that, and the third, that's all fine and dandy. But I again, the ring ties it in. We're too old. Again, princesses just said it. We're too old to be playing this game of exchange of words. We need more than that. We show more than that. Like we've given more than that. We both should give actions. We are both committing to one another. Right. And I just feel like a ring just kind of solidifies everything. And it doesn't have to be some extravagant thing, but it's something that you feel like I'm worth doing something for. Y'all work hard.
So speaking of hypotheticals, so we all old, to use your words.
Yeah.
But let's say,
I
but
feel
let's say
old.
we in this economy, in this environment, let's say, you meet someone and you
Mhm.
guys are talking, having those conversations about building together and you want to get married, but the ring you want is $10,000. But we want to buy a house. And I make a commitment to you, and I'm going to commit to you, but we're gonna set ourselves up to buy a home. So rather than me spending $10,000 on a ring, I'm putting that towards a down payment on our home. Would that change your perspective?
I'm not going in a home with you if I am not married. So you
So
can
you're
A
not
ring,
going
you
to
don't need a ring to be married, though.
boom. That's my point. So
You
you're
don't
not
need a
willing to.
ring to be married.
So if we can get married and get in this house, that's the plan. You would stop because you want a ring.
Can I let me just
So I'm gonna
let me
say the
say
thing
this.
that's
Oh no, hold on. No, y'all listen. Y'all, I done listened to
No,
everybody.
no.
Ain't nobody answered my question yet.
What I'm about to answer it, Louis. I actually am because I agree with you. I was actually sitting here and what I was saying to myself was I was just about to say, you know what? I would do it out of ringless engagement, but you better be putting it down. I need to see the receipt for the down payment on the house or whatever that
That's
That's
looks
fair.
fair.
like.
That's fair.
That's
That's
Because
fair.
fair.
because
Y'all,
for me, right? It's like, okay, sure, have something, but and however, and this is what I stand so firm on this. At that point, right? Then that means that the ring, because I also feel like that's robbing me because I am saying for me as your woman, this is the experience that I want. So you are now robbing me of a particular experience that I do not think that that's fair. I want, so for me, it's like, okay, cool. If you getting down, if you scraping up your knee to tell me how you feel, the same way that you was telling me how you felt all this time, for me, you're robbing me of a particular experience because I want to be able, because in the same ways that I have literally seen, and this was asking y'all about like the ring thing. Anytime one of my homegirls gets proposed to, the first thing I ask, girl, let me see the ring and how did he do it? How did he propose? You are robbing me of a whole experience that I won't be able for me because that is something that means something to me, something that I take pride in as well. Yeah, this is the ring my man got me. This
I
is
don't
exactly
disagree
how
with that.
he do it.
I get where you're going, Asia. I get
It's
where
the
you're
same
going.
way if
I
he
give you
had a
that.
corny proposal. Even if he said like, we've been rocking out for a while, let's get married. I'm looking at you crazy. That's a whack proposal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yo,
I really you're
I'm
robbing
trying
me of a
because I know
particular
Lewis get
experience. That's how I feel
because
about
it's Lewis and Princess topic night, and I know he gets sensitive about time. I'm trying to be quiet, bro. I'm telling you,
Hey, Louis, why you throw you up under the bus?
hey,
I don't
Asia,
care. I like this topic. I'm not
I
going
just
for it.
think, I
go
just
ahead,
think
Prince.
that
Hey, Louis said,
I don't think a lot of men are not giving a ring but saving up for a house. So I get that scenario, Lewis, but I feel like the likelihood of that in this day and age is pretty slim.
But hey,
Um,
Princess, I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me backtrack. I think the older we get, people are more likely to think like that than they are when
Yep,
we're young.
I agree.
I think the older you
Because the
get, the
people,
more you thinking about the investment of getting a home, starting a life together than you are of a ring. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When Asia broke it down to like you're robbing me of an experience, I'm like, damn, okay, that's nice wording to make somebody go do it. That was good, Asia. I give you that.
no, I do think that there
That
are a
was
lot
good.
of people who are buying homes together with boyfriends, but
it.
they're not like buying a home together with their boyfriend and then going and get married without a ring. Like they may buy the home first, and if that's what you
Mm-hmm.
choose to do, then that's what you choose to do. But okay, maybe they're in that home and then they wait a couple of years and then he proposes and then they get married. But people aren't just out here buying homes with their boyfriends and then going to the courthouse and just exchanging, I don't know, blood or something and like doing some type of secret swearing to be together
Yeah.
forever. Like, no, like people are still wanting the ring. So either way,
Okay.
it's not going to be ringless.
Right.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I see you. We got. We got. I don't even want.
Y'all asking me if I
Crazy.
want a
Y'all are
freaking
wild,
ring
yo.
pop at the
I ain't
age
No.
like
of 31.
I feel so
No.
disrespected by this question. I actually do. And I'm saying this in no disrespect to y'all that are married, but like y'all, like as a single woman, this is a crazy question for y'all to have such a
Yeah.
strong opinion about when y'all have wedding rings on your finger. And I'm gonna say it just like that.
hey,
Yeah,
because you
I
know what?
agree
I'm
with
gonna
Asia,
tell
when
you.
you.
you keep.
I'm gonna say no. I feel called out right now. So I
You
feel
are,
like
you are
my
married
perspective.
man.
I feel like, yeah, 12 years, you know it. So
right,
how I
that's right.
feel,
But he has a wedding ring, not an engagement
but
ring.
hold on,
He has a
hold on,
wedding ring.
brother, I got it. So
Yeah, he
All right,
got it.
my perspective comes from being married. My
It's
perspective
a
comes from being married because that experience is great, but what's greater is the 12 years or X amount of years that we're going to be married.
I agree.
What's more important to both of us is not just that symbol of a wedding ring, it's the life that we built, our children, the legacy, the man and woman that's connected. I see value in that. I realize
Yeah.
the ring, the wedding, all that is for other people because eventually you're going to want another ring.
No,
Eventually that ring doesn't have
I
the
hear
same
you.
impact it did in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And
No,
material, and the thing about material things and even symbols, those things, you outgrow those things. They don't hold the same weight or value. But my actions, me as a husband, is way more valuable than it being introduced, being of that process being introduced. And what I'm challenging you three on, based on your the foul comment, it's okay for you to want that experience. But what I'm saying to you is what is more valuable is the action and the man, not the ring. So I don't want you guys to be, I don't want you all to maybe miss out on something that could be more beneficial just because you think it's supposed to happen a certain way. Because rarely ever in life does anything happen the way you think it should.
I get it, but at 31, you're not giving me a ring pop. I'm sorry.
and
And
not
Brittany is out of
only
the
that.
conversation because she's married. But I feel you, Lewis. Like for real, for real. Like
Yes,
That's
yes.
really
I
how
get
I
what you're
feel.
I
saying. Like
do.
the
No, I do.
relationship is number one, but
Yeah.
I
that's
hear
not
you.
gonna. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna ring. You're not gonna ring pop me into this.
I'll hear
So,
and
so
Lewis as a married woman on this podcast, I feel crazy if I walk out the house without my ring. Okay, yes. Now that I was hiding the big what did Drake say? Hiding the world from my baby, but it's out there now. Now that y'all put
yeah,
it out there,
that wasn't.
it's all right. It's
Oh, that
cool.
was me.
So it's
Look at Asia. Look at
it's
Asia
okay.
being
The friend.
okay. Accountability on this Monday.
I had to take
Accountability on
I
this
had to
Monday.
I had to take my ring off because of weight gain, whatever. I instantly went and got something to put on my finger because I felt crazy without it. Why? If I walked outside without that for me, it's like I lost a piece of my husband. Like that just meant so much to me. And I hear you say, it's materialistic, and of course, as women, you want bigger, you want better over time, or you want this, you want that. For me, it's not about bigger and better. It's more so that I have something on that finger to let you know that this is off the market. Like, don't even walk my way, and it connects me to my husband because again, this is my experience with my marriage and how I felt about my ring personally.
So Brittany, may I?
Of course.
I hope so. I'll show my silicone ring that I got right now that I'm rocking when I'm usually out photography. Boom, boom, boom. Right, Brittany. What you just said was you had to take your ring off. You didn't say you had to go get something that costs as much as your actual ring. You said you had to get something because you wanted to represent him in your marriage. So what you put back on your finger wasn't your original ring, which is fine. Like right now, me and my wife, we both rocking a silicone ring. We cool. I agree that I do like having the ring on my finger. I'm proud of my ring. I'm proud to be married. I don't disagree with that. But the point I'm making to what you just said is you didn't say that, oh no, you need to make this ring bigger so they can see this one. You just wanted it on your finger to represent what y'all have built, what y'all are. And that's the whole point that we were making.
That's
Like,
the
I
whole
think the
point
thing
that
is
I'm
this.
making with the ring. So without the ring, it's a ringless, right? So
But the ring that you put on your finger, is it just as expensive as your wedding ring or engagement ring?
no, it isn't. It
Okay, thank
isn't.
you.
Y'all can't pose that question back to her as a married woman who has already been proposed to with probably a very nice ring. That doesn't work that way. You're trying to like mind fuck her into like the whole like, oh, you were pregnant and so like you got a silicone ring now, and yeah, like that doesn't work because she's married. He didn't present that to her like that.
So as long as he presents the ring, the one you actually wear and feel about don't matter after that.
Great question.
I took
That's
a bow.
gonna be my ring. What do you mean?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Dang, that's crazy.
He's not gonna 5 years later downgrade me, and like, unless I just choose to, like Britt did, because of the circumstance.
You know, can I maybe it
That's
doesn't, maybe it hits us different because we don't need that to demonstrate our commitment. We don't have a symbol to demonstrate that commitment on the way to getting married. So our perspective may be totally different. Because I don't,
That's what it is.
yeah, I haven't waited my whole life to have something for something I knew I was gonna do anyway. Or how I live my life, you know. So we're I don't think we'll ever see that the same way.
No,
I
probably
couldn't
not.
let something that material stop me from being who I'm supposed to be with. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. That's
But if
crazy.
that's the case, then that would just not be a marriage to me. We could talk about being life partners. That's how I feel about that. Like, no, I'm being so for real. Because that's not gonna change me being with the person that I love. But if we're talking about going through and you getting down on one knee in the ring and all that, some people don't even believe in marriage or whatever. Like, they truly, like, they treat it like a quote unquote marriage. They never get rings and they just call each other life partners.
So who created this whole concept of getting a ring to be married? Because a long time ago that didn't exist. So someone thought of that and we all bought into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
People
I
that
sure did.
People that didn't want to be life partners.
That's crazy.
But I think, and what I'll say to this too, I have two things. So my thing is, like, to Louis, to your point, right? I don't think that anything that you said about, like, the man being the man and not and the actual marriage being what's important, because I do think I do definitely agree with that. Like, for instance, I do not want a big wedding. I've always said that. I do not want to spend all that money on all the things for me to not even eat a piece of my cake, right? Like, that's one thing that I feel. But at the same time, like, and I was asking this because, like, I know we talked about this, I think, before, having, like, your wife get, like, an upgrade, right? Like, on the ring and all those things. There is something to that, because if there was nothing to it, she would have the same ring for all of the whole marriage. There's just something to it. Yes, it wasn't like that back in the day, but times change. The times literally do change, and there are certain things that we do buy into. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, and I'll even go to this, like, back in the day, it was like, all right, we got none of this, we jump in a broom.
Yeah.
That was for that particular time. It is different. And so to then say, like, all right, well, fine, anybody that doesn't jump a broom, the wedding is like, you know, whatever. It's like, things do change, and that's okay. I don't think we should be, you know, be made to feel weird about wanting the full experience. And my thing is, if you do want to marry me, then that's cool, right? So for me, I have no issue if I know that we're going to be in this thing for all of time and all of that kind of stuff. Then yes, I'm willing to wait an additional 6 months, a year, for you as a man to save up whatever amount of money that you need to, because we are in this for the long haul. But I still want to have that experience.
I'd probably be able to agree with you guys if it was someone else that wasn't getting thousands of dollars. It only benefits y'all, like, you know what I'm saying? Monetarily wise, it's like, it's easy to say you want it and you expect it when you get thousands of dollars on your ring finger. But
when you put it as when Princess said earlier about us being married, speaking on it, I would go more so like, you know, us as men don't get anything till the actual wedding day. And when Asia spoke, and when y'all both spoke about the experience and robbing you of that experience and asking the questions, your girl asking, your family asking you, oh, like, how did he do it? Let me see it. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. And I honestly, I'm a firm believer in it gets harder the older you get as far as expectation. You know what I mean? Like, you want nicer things. Like, I would tell y'all a crazy story, but I know we got to transition to the top of the night because I'm going to be real. Like, and it was on me, but like, I bought a ring and it was like, huh? Oh,
But you were young. You were how old?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it
because
does.
at 31,
how are
you
you
can't
saying
bring
it
me
matters?
that ring right now, Keenan.
Well, this topic hot, boy.
So I got a question. You telling me it don't matter, but 15 years later we still together?
No, I'm saying.
Hold on, time out.
I'm saying
you
that,
telling me it don't matter, but that same person 15 years later I'm with her.
Keenan, but how old were you when that happened? Is what I'm saying. The
Why does that
perspectives
matter?
are different because when you are 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, your standards and your tastes at that age are different than what you are whenever you are at this point in your 30s. We talked about this before.
Absolutely.
So it's just
Yeah.
like people
No, but that's
can't
not what I'm
approach you
saying,
the same
Priscilla.
depending on what age it is.
No, I agree with that part. But what I'm saying is when I did it then, it matched what both of us could afford. And it was still a hell no. It
Well,
matched what both of us could afford then. So I get what you're saying, but like now at our
can't
age
help you
now,
on that.
no,
She
but
eventually said yes, so it don't matter.
but the point I'm making
Exactly.
is, but the point I'm
But
making is, you get your dream ring, you get the ring that you thought the world of, this is the one. You gonna want to upgrade 10 years out. If he get you the top dog ring at the top of the list, you gonna want to upgrade. And I got you your top dog ring.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It really does. It
It
really does
depends on
depend.
it depends on the woman. I'm not. It
Yeah.
depends on the woman. I don't
Fair
think
enough.
every woman is into that like that to that extent. It's not that big of a deal, especially by the time you reach the upgrade point. If y'all have gone through some things or you have to prioritize other things. And as we evolve and change and get older, we realize where our priorities lie. I'm not going to be stressing you to get another, to upgrade me to this extravagant ring. Like we're content in our marriage at this point. Yes, of course. I like what I like.
All right, I
But it
got
can
you.
wait.
All right, one fair foul and we up out of here. All right. You know what I'm saying? How's everybody doing tonight?
We good?
Great.
So
Oh boy.
tonight's fair foul. Fair foul. Complimenting outside your relationship. Now, if you watched Don't Kink Shame, we talked about harmless flirting. What this fair foul is about? Is it fair foul about a harmless compliment outside your relationship? Fair foul.
Foul. Nothing's
Fair.
harmless.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
I think it's fair.
Ooh, what? Okay, do tell.
Okay, yeah, please.
You want Britt to go first?
Okay, we'll go.
Britt, you go first.
I said my piece. Nothing's harmless to me. To me there's always intent behind what you've seen. I don't think it's harmless. Do I think it's wrong? I mean, the reason why I said it was foul is because it's just. Let me not say that. I just think
No,
that
say it. No, say it.
no,
No,
I'm not
say
gonna
it.
say
You gonna
that.
say it?
I'm not gonna say that.
Stand on it.
I think it's for me, yes, a foul. Only because, and maybe this is personal experience, but right, like this may be my personal insecurity experience, whatever. That has always led to something else or too much of, right? The one harmless comment turns into harmless hearts, turns into harmless double tapping, right? Which can mean absolutely nothing. You could just like the picture, your thumb just double taps it. But it's always the harmless comment it turns into like a domino effect where then I have to question, well, what are you really looking at? What is the compliment? What are you complimenting? Right? Did she just have on a nice dress that one time, or is she wearing a bunch of nice dresses that I'm not wearing? So that's again, that's
Why
my
does the compliment have to tie back to you?
I'd say it's personal. It's my own insecurities, right?
Okay.
So like my own experiences have brought me to a space where I've been this low and my self-esteem was down here because somebody did that to me. So now I always reflect things back to me. Like if you're complimenting another woman and you're with me, but I look nothing like her, I don't dress like that, I don't wear clothes like that, then I link it back to myself because now a harmless comment is made, but it's just kind of like the image that I see is not reflected here. So why would you compliment that? or do I need to? Like that's
I get where you're going. I get where you're going. Okay.
So,
Makes sense.
Britt, does it change if the harmless compliment is not in front of you?
What do you mean?
Saying like he is out by himself and he compliments someone.
He just say like, "Damn, girl, you wearing that dress?"
Not like that.
Come on, you,
Not like that.
yo, you.
But if he just tells like somebody like, "Oh, I like your hair," or "Oh, I like your shirt," or does it
Or
change
damn,
it
girl, you
because
wearing that
like
dress?
does it change it because you're with him and you're seeing him compliment another woman? Or I don't know if we're talking about social media, like if you're seeing the comments versus if he's alone and like you don't really know that it's happening. Do you think that it's foul for him to do it when he's not in your presence?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think it's. I wouldn't know if he's doing it. He's not gonna come back home and tell me, "Damn, I saw this girl in this badass green dress. She was wearing it."
Keenan might.
I think
Crazy, ain't it?
I'm honest.
Look, I took a picture.
Hey, I'm posting to the story and acting. Look at this shit.
Hey, come on, bro. Wilder. Yo, you.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, Princess.
I want to say this to Princess. The comment on social media makes it foul because you leave it up to other people's perception at that point. That's my opinion. If you leave a comment on social media, it turns foul to me. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I'm damn near worried about liking it now that they say like by such and such, such and such. Ah, damn. Like Meg Thee Stallion got one off the day. I'm telling you. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be mindful of that. But that shit fair. Like
I was also gonna ask that, Keenan, about social media. Does it make it a difference if it's a like versus a comment?
A comment's way worse.
Yeah.
A comment is definitely way worse. But do likes still count in the fair or foul?
I don't
like,
think
is it
like
fair
is a
for a
compliment.
like? You don't think like is a compliment?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I probably wouldn't dig that deep into a like. That's me. I'm speaking for my personal. Like I'm not gonna dig that deep into it. I'm just not. You comment
have to go
something.
out your way to comment. Like you're telling your thoughts in a comment. Versus like you could have liked the hair, the beach in the background, whatever. You just double tap.
You're not liking something if you like the beach in the background, Britt.
I do.
It's something to that man. It's something to that man that you like. It's that haircut.
Hey, she like it.
I think
running on the beach.
Yeah, I think it's fair, and I guess it's because I guess I'm a words of affirmation person, right? So like even like with my guy friends, I notice if they get a haircut, and I'm like, oh, you got a haircut. I'm not thinking like, ooh, you got a haircut. Like it's not that deep for me. It's like you got a haircut. That haircut looks nice. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to acknowledge when I can see people have put work into things in the same ways that like I would compliment on a shorty that has an amazing body. It's like, yo, like she's working hard for that. Like, yes, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? In the same ways that like if a man has a nice outfit on, I like your shoes, I like your shirt. Like I don't think that there's anything for me it's not foul. I think that like I just don't especially because let me say this also even in the context of relationships, it's like I see the same thing that he sees. I see that it looks nice. I'm not blind. You know what I'm saying? Like so in the same I used to race. True story. When I was in relationships, if I would see somebody like a bad shorty, I would go out of my way to make sure I complimented it first. Just so that he knows, like, hey, it's safe here. Like, yes, we both see it. Like,
hey,
yeah,
man,
like,
that don't mean that. Men, that don't mean that. She's trying to see what you like.
I'm saying
it don't mean that.
For me, first of all.
So you gonna tell her life experience, bro?
No, I wasn't talking about
me.
Yeah,
for me, it's like I can appreciate a nice body. Let's say it like that. If a shorty has a fat behind, I'm complimenting it. I just am. It's like, oh, like, shorty, that's crazy. Because I see it. I know you see it too. Like, it's okay. Now don't go staring at it. I clocked it clock back. You better clock back in. You know what I'm saying? Don't take that long to look.
But can he say
other
it
than that,
first?
yeah, he could say it first as long as I see. Like, it's one of those. Actually, it doesn't even matter. Like, point me to it though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, dang, like shorty back there 30 miles ago. Yeah, it's like you could have said like, nah, like.
But I guess what I'm asking is not in conversation with you, but let's just say homegirl is like y'all waiting in line or something. She's in front of y'all. Is it okay for him to compliment her on whatever? I'm sure he wouldn't say, hey, you got a fat ass in front of you, like whatever. But let's just say he says, hey, I like your dress.
To the
Are you
girl?
okay with that? To the girl that's standing in front
Like
of y'all.
for me, and this is, I guess, coming from like, y'all have to understand too, I'm a gym rat, right? So like, I really do, I see the physique in a different way on men, on women. Like, it's just different for me. So for me, it's not that. It's like, yeah, go ahead. Like, yeah, it's a nice dress. Now, if I think here, but if I think the dress is ugly, and you know the dress is ugly, and you only really complimented the dress because she has a fat ass, now I have a problem. Because you know that dress is ugly. It's fluorescent yellow with ruffles. Like,
Asia, if the
you know
dress
it.
was white with pearls, I feel like the dress is on a body. Like
Yeah, but
I'm
what I'm saying is, I'm
But
okay
we
with.
talking
I'm
about the dress
okay
though.
with the.
We're talking about the dress. We're not talking about the
No,
body.
but what I'm saying is I'm not that dumb. It's like we know an ugly dress when we see an ugly dress. Like you not complimenting a dress for real. It has to be a valid compliment. That's what I'm saying, I guess. Like,
Well,
yeah, but I wouldn't mind.
Hey, Jay,
I
hold
would.
on one second. Lewis, what's your thoughts? You mighty quiet. What's your thoughts, Lewis?
I'm about to give an ignorant answer. It's fair when I do it, and it's foul if she does it.
Oh Lord.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis, you just set us back, man. You said all that good stuff earlier. You just set us back this episode, bro.
I'm being honest. I don't want to hear that shit. Now, here's the thing with me. I've learned early on in my marriage, our marriage, I used to every time I saw someone on TV that was like a beautiful woman, I was like, oh, she's beautiful. And then my wife was like, Lewis, you don't have to say that every time you see a beautiful woman on TV. And I was like, you're right. So I stopped doing that. But I realized I'm very intentional about if I pay a compliment to someone, hell, I done got in trouble on here saying half the stuff I done said on here. But I really have, y'all, for real. So I've learned, but it's easier for me to compliment people who I'll never interact with as opposed to people that I see. So if I'm going to pay a compliment to a woman, it better be someone I don't have access to. And it's easier and it goes over easier. And just to be honest, for my own ego, it's easier for me when she pays a compliment to someone that she doesn't have access to. However, I'm not naive to think that there aren't people that are attractive that she encounters that she would want to pay a compliment to. And I'll be real with you, and I'm secure enough to say this. To Asia's point, if it's a true compliment, if it's somebody that's really done the work or presented themselves a certain way and she would compliment them in my presence, I would accept it, right? I would, if it was someone that was well put together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, no, she wouldn't care. She don't want to hear me compliment nobody. So
Hey, Lewis, I got a question for you, bro. What
Yeah.
scenario? What if she's telling a story about someone, and she says in that story, and he's a nice looking man, but she's telling a story to somebody.
She said that before. You know what my wife does? She gives a really good disclaimer. Lewis, I'm not trying to be funny, but he was a nice looking guy. I'm like, all right, he looked better than me. And she always say no.
Time out. Why she gotta give you a disclaimer though?
I don't know. She goes out of her way to make sure she's being respectful to me.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with my insecurity.
Okay, all right.
No. It's her own will. She goes out of her way to make sure that she's respectful to me in that sense. But then I always say, does he look better than me? And she say no. She feed into my ego like that.
Yeah, for sure. She got to. How long you been married?
12 years.
There's the key. Lie to him.
Yeah. I gotta take that one. I want to say something smart, but that was too good. I gotta take that one.
Hey, look, I honestly learned the other way, bro. Like you.
That was good,
I
bro.
had
I
to
gotta
get.
take. No, I gotta take it,
So
man. That was good.
my wife is really big on cologne, and that's where I learned about the compliment. But it just don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I will say this, Princess, to your point. I want to go out of your spouse's. This ain't something you'll come home and tell. Earth 99. Out of your spouse's sight is a compliment, fair or foul.
What?
That's when I think it's fair, personally.
Okay.
Because for
maybe?
me, what'd you say?
You meaning like you're not around them when you give somebody else a compliment.
Right. And I know the intent is literally just a compliment. However, even if my intent is, it's not malicious at all, if I'm with my man, I'm not seeking out another man to compliment him on anything. Like, I'm not about to tell you your haircut looks nice. It probably does, but I don't feel the need to tell you that when my man is standing right here.
Gotcha.
Or just anything. Because same way, not to say that he's trying to make me feel some type of way or anything, but if we're going back to the stand in line, or we just see a woman and she has on a nice dress and she got a nice body, like, I don't expect for him to compliment her right there in front of me, because then I'm gonna be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I just think that it leaves too much for interpretation.
For sure.
In my opinion. But like, if I'm out and it's just like, oh, I like your haircut, or I like your shirt, I like your watch, whatever. But then that's it. But then once you give that compliment, depending on what that person says back, that's why sometimes I don't always willingly give compliments, because oftentimes that's a way to start a conversation. If people don't know that you're in a relationship, or, well, they'll probably know y'all married because you got rings or whatever. But, like, when you give people a compliment, that's normally a conversation starter. And then they're looking for more. And if you compliment someone, they're like, oh, okay, they might want to, and it's like, no, my intent was literally just to compliment you, and that's it.
See, that's why I want to be there. That's exact for me. That's why I would rather be there than not, because I really don't trust shorty like that. I don't trust that they care about a ring. I don't trust that, like, you know what I'm saying? That
We
if
do.
she
We
does
care
look
about
like
it.
really good, that's cool for y'all. I don't. So but because in the moment, it's true, like, a conversation really could carry, because if I'm dating someone that I know is a friendly person, and they have a well-intentioned compliment, and let's say I'm not around, and the shorty is now like, oh my gosh, like, he's smiling at me and he's complimenting and all these things, like, she could really take that and run with that. I would rather be right there and be like, yeah, girl, that dress really is cute. Yeah, and
turn around.
I'm there to co-sign.
Yeah.
Turn on back around, order your food.
Turn on
I would rather be there.
So that plays into who you're complimenting too, right? So as I'm listening to you guys talk, I feel like
I could be lying.
No, I feel like if I'm trying to put myself in a space where, if my husband said something to one of my friends, like, oh, your hair looks nice, or, oh, that, I don't know, all her life she wore curly hair, boom, she got straight hair, like, oh, you blow dry your hair, it looks nice, versus a complete stranger, like, how I would feel about that. Like, if I saw y'all, when I see y'all in September, fresh to death, and it's like, oh, everybody looks nice, like, y'all look good, versus strangers that walk in, I've never seen them come into the podcast party, I'm like, damn, they look nice, they look good, like, how that would play over if the shoe was on the other foot. That makes a difference on who you're complimenting to.
Yeah. That's another question. Is your spouse or your partner able to compliment your friends? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's another good question.
That one right there don't bother me. Like that one right there don't that one right there. To me, that's like a, like,
as long as it's respectful.
I mean, it's a given. Keenan's friends with me, so I mean, he gonna hear it.
That's why I've never experienced that. I've never experienced that.
That's why it took me so long to get to DC. He was like, I ain't trying to hear this shit all day.
Come on, man. Hey, look. I could go into story time right now, but I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. No, but that one don't that don't bother me. My wife compliment my friends all the time, like especially if they've had a hairstyle, she ain't seen them in a while, they lost weight. Like, damn, okay, I see you. You looking good. Like that don't that because to me they're not siblings, but they brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a, you know what I mean? And shit. And the thing about my friend, when I say that.
All right.
Jay, we didn't hear from you.
Oh, mine will be very short. I promise you. The only thing that separates the fair and foul for me is the wordplay. For example, Asia made a good point. If you compliment somebody and say, "Hey, okay, that looks nice. I like your haircut. That looks nice." Or, "Oh, you changed your hair. That looks good on you."
Jay, who you saying I like that haircut to?
I just man, get out of here. So anyway, my dumb ass out there. So, but anyway, versus saying, "Damn," you see them like, "Damn, your hair looks good." I think it's the context and the way you use it. That's the only thing that switches up the fair and foul for me.
For sure. For sure. Intent for real. Intent is what make it fair or foul.
Yeah.
For sure. But anyway, man, appreciate everybody tapping in tonight with the Monday Night Crew, man. It's your boy K. Mims. I got the ladies of the show, Brittany, Asia, and Princess. My bros, DJ J Dub and Louis B. NC, September 28th. We on the way, 5 o'clock, Deja's Bar, man. Tap in with us. We out.
Get your tickets.
All right, man. So fair or foul vibes, man. You know, this was given still by Princess, curated this vibe as well. So you chilling, your life is exactly how it looks right now. You get this text message. You can quit your job when you're ready. I'm gonna get you a car for $450 weekly allowance. Love, but you have to handle all house needs, no bills. You get that text. Fair or foul, you quitting your job or you staying with it?
Foul.
What the?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nah.
450 ain't enough.
That's not. Yeah, I was gonna say that's too little.
450 is not enough. The only way that would be fair for me is if that was roughly how much I made weekly.
But I got a question.
If I made around that amount or less, then cool. That's fair.
So it needs to supplement your income?
If you want me to stop working.
Hold on. Princess, may I?
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't that mean, so I hear what you're saying, but if I'm eliminating your bills,
right?
We're talking about the money left over. $450 left over a week is decent. No?
No.
She
I
can't.
don't. I what?
She can't buy no Louis Vuitton on $450 a week.
Here you go. Here you go.
You're right. Facts. I can't. I also can't travel that much with that either. But
President, each week you can get something. You buy the ticket week 1. You buy the flight week 2. You buy the hotel week 3. Spend the money week 4. Bow.
And it's not even about. But what I'm saying is, like, for you to offer me $450 a week and to tell me to stop working, that's still, in my opinion, minimizing, like where I am currently.
So
even though you're taking away the bills, because then you're telling me I gotta clean up and cook for you every night.
So
I'm not a fan of that either.
Is it tied to what you can produce for yourself as opposed to what he's giving you? So it's like you're limiting what you could do for yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
As opposed to supplementing a lifestyle, because you have the lifestyle, but I can on my own I can bring in more than this and have what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But what if? Can I just say something? Like, I genuinely like my job. At least one of them.
That too.
So like for me, it's like, so I'm supposed to sit at home, right? I clean up and all the things, which I already do for myself, because you said the current life I have, right? And it's like, then what? Be like, just wait for you to come home? Like, for me, I literally, I feel like I live a fulfilled life because I genuinely like the work that I do. Like, it gives me purpose. So for me, I don't want to be sitting at home. It's not for me. It's not just so much about the income that I make for myself. Like I feel like the work that I do gives me purpose. So for me, it's like, so I'm supposed to not do that, to do the things I already currently do, and then do nothing else with that and just wait for you to get home.
Why does it go to like this like rotten like sit on the couch every day wait for you to get home vibe?
Okay, so what I'm asking then, Keenan, so then I would just be, because what I'm saying is, so then I would just be what, going to work but not getting paid? Like what would I be doing with that time? Because I feel like what I currently do now feeds into my purpose. So what would I be doing even if I'm not recording? Like I'm become a content creator.
Hey,
but I don't want to, because I love my job. You see what I'm saying? Like I love my job. I would rather be doing groups.
So let me ask you a question. May I?
Of course.
Do you feel like you're stripping a part of your identity if you were to quit your job? Like, why can't you fulfill your purpose in another way? So I agree with you. You love your job. You said it's within your purpose. So do you feel like if you're not doing that job in a specific way you're doing it, you losing a part of your identity?
I don't feel that way, because I think that even with the job that I'm doing now, like I see it evolving, right? But my spouse would be asking me to quit my job, which I guess is like, is it just that job? Or is it like, hey, I don't want you to work? Because for me, then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'll just start my business doing groups, which would be me doing the same thing that I'm doing now, just with a different name on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm still working. So like, I'm still not going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's for me. That's why I went to, what else would I be doing with my time?
So zero to do with the 450.
For me, no, like that's not, like number one, I know I can provide for myself, but it's more of like, what else would I be doing with that time?
Yeah. I think the only way that this would kind of work is if you're a mom. Because if you're asking me to quit my job, even if it is something that I like, I can now be an efficient mom. Like there's no excuse for me not to be a bomb ass mom and a wife too, because I have time now to do those things. And if you're taking care of all the bills, including the kids, and I have $450 a week, like now I'm able to be a mom, fulfill the responsibilities 100%. Right. And then still get that quote unquote allowance, which, by the way, I hate that word. I'm not a kid. But yeah.
I don't know.
You prefer a stipend?
I was going to say stipend.
Hey, look, if our lifestyle don't change, give me that 450. It'd be the cleanest. I'll pay for the cleaning service. I'll pay for the cleaning service out of the first payment. I get it in after that.
I'm not gonna lie, 450 don't go very far anymore.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not looking at 450 as my only. So look, this is my mindset, and I'm gonna be like, I'm not saying I want to be a stay-at-home dad. I don't even really care how people perceive it. What I'm saying is, if you gave me my time the way it looks now, my kids still went to school. I wake up, get them ready, they still go to school, and I'm allotted when they get to school to when they get out to be able to move how I want. Oh, it won't be long. I'll take that 450 for a year. It won't be long.
I get what you're saying. I'm gonna go back to Princess's point, or what I assume, or what I thought Princess's point was. I just know that I can generate more, and I want to maximize that as much as possible. So I think that, and it also ties back into purpose, because I feel like my purpose is tied to what I can create and provide for myself. I'm probably not as at peace as Asia is, which I think is beautiful. And I think it's good to have that perspective, because you don't hear people talk about that a lot, about them being fulfilled and enjoying what they do. You know, I think that's beautiful. But for me, I'm better when I'm pushing myself, you know, in that capacity. That's just me.
May I? Lewis, may I?
Yes. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. So my thing is, and I really want. I'm asking you and Princess and Asia, why does quitting the job now limit your like? Why does that limit what you can provide? Like, why doesn't it make you create something or do something that you can still provide? It may not be what was when you quit, but you can now go build that thing and still provide in that way.
Because I think we all chose jobs that fulfilled it to a degree. I think we make the choice to choose the careers that we're currently in. We're all capable people. If we weren't in a place or position where it was worth, not just from a money perspective, but worth fulfilling our needs as people, we probably wouldn't be doing it anyway.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I will say that I would feel differently, to Britt's point, if I had kids and that gave me the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom, I would definitely feel differently. And I would possibly feel differently if I absolutely just hated what I did for a living.
So I'm gonna tell you why I feel so strongly on this. So y'all know I taught for 10 years and I had summers off. And I really realized the power of time. When you have intentional time, when you wake up, the kid, even before I had kids, you wake up and it's like you see how fast everybody else is moving, and you see how much you can really get done in a day when you're intentional about your own time. So I had the career, I had the job, but here I was allotted 8 weeks where I was still getting paid, but I didn't have to go report anywhere. So in my mind, in those summers, I was able to make up more ground on what I wanted to do in those 8 weeks that most people got to do in a year. So I guess for me, it's like being able to see that in real time. I just don't. If the thing for me, if you paying all the bills, and I know it sounds weird coming from a guy, I don't see it as me staying at home trying to be at home.
So, and I think that's where the disconnect is. So let's change and say that you are a stay-at-home father full time, though, meaning the kids are staying there and you're homeschooling. You don't get that free.
I'm not doing that. No.
So I think looking at it from, I have that free time to do all this stuff. We're looking at
my kids in school. She paying all the bills, so they going to school.
But if Brittany's gonna be a stay-at-home mom, the kids gonna be there too. They're young.
Oh no.
You look at it from like a young perspective. Like your kids are young now. They're not in school. They offered you, your woman offered you that position. Would you take that for $450 a week and stand at home and with the kids?
Hell no.
All right, then.
and I also think that the perspective for a woman is different, because like I was raised to like have your own, right? So for me, $450 a week plus, didn't the end of the text say, okay, I'll pay all the bills, and then he said, what?
You take care of the house stuff.
You take care of
all the house needs, no bills.
Yeah, like for me, I always feel like stuff like that is like a way of controlling for a lot of people, not for everyone. And so you can't control me off of $450 a week. You get what I'm saying?
How much it costs?
Can you pay to control you?
Yeah, how much it costs?
Like that's not you can't do that with $450 a week. It has to be more than $450 a week. I don't care if you are paying the bills.
How much can it control you? I'm just saying, what's that price? What's that price tag?
What's that number?
I can't give you a number, but I'm just saying, like it's coming off like controlling to me, and $450 just doesn't seem like enough for me to like your meal gonna be hot and ready every night.
So that's why the $450 take care of Uber Eats too. So I'm saying this. what Princess, real question, because this is what gets me, yo. Right? Like, I feel like as millennials, we attach to lifestyle so much, right? But like, let me ask y'all this: if y'all had to do that for 3 years for the greater goal to be accomplished, would you do it then?
What's the greater goal, bro?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Say if you had to do that. Say if you had to do that because it was easier. I guess I'm just throwing this out there. It was easier for you to stay home and eliminate childcare and some other things. You staying home saved us money in order for us to go do the next thing, whether it's buy a house or do whatever the next setup is. Like you staying home and me doing that saved us money versus paying the $3,000 in child care every month. Would that change the perspective if you could see where it was going and then you were asked that?
Yeah, I said it would change the perspective if it came down to kids. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But that brings in a different element, because I feel moment of vulnerability, right? Been there for real, been there. Where I had to take a sacrifice in order to, in terms of childcare, during COVID. Work like changed for me, right? So I'm looking. I just finished a master's degree. Oop, can't apply the degree because I got a kid at home. But I knew husband was out making moves, doing all these things to put us in a better space. Once COVID kind of settled down, and now we're reaping the benefits or I'm reaping the benefits really of that sacrifice, and we're kind of doing that together. But it brings in a different. So the answer to the question, Keenan, is yes. However, when you're in it, it's kind of hard to see the greater goal. Like you really want to throw in the towel sometimes. It brings in a different vibe because you're not always in a good space because you're the one that's making the sacrifice. So I'll say that you have to consistently remind yourself that there is a greater goal. So for some people, it might be easier to say, no, I'm not going to do that because the greater goal seems so far-fetched and I have to sit in this mud for this X amount of time, and I really don't want to do that. I'd rather get to the finish line quicker or a different way where I don't have to sacrifice my own personal, I don't even want to say happiness because it wasn't sadness, but like my own self-fulfillment temporarily just to get to the end goal. Some people don't want to do that.
That was good, Brittany.
Jay, did you pick?
Yeah, I did.
What did you say? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. That's not enough.
Okay.
No.
What's your number, Jay?
Yeah.
You can be pimped out too, my boy. What's your number?
Yeah.
Nah, I have a number. I'm just not doing that. Some people, I'm gonna just be. I don't want to be a stay-at-home anything. I've never had a stay-at-home job. I don't want to be stay-at-home anything. That's just me. Hell,
the thing
I'm
is,
with you, bro. I gotta work. I gotta do something.
I just don't equate it to not doing anything. I think is what the point I won't let up on. I get what you're saying though, Lewis, but it's not saying they're not doing anything. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A lot of dudes wouldn't say this. I believe myself to be a pretty good dad. I love my babies.
Yeah.
I've been with my babies this Friday through today. And if I knew for a fact I didn't have to go to work tomorrow, I might have canceled the night. What? I would have to go to no, and it ain't even. Hey, yo.
We've been with them all day.
Hey, bro. Hey, Lewis, am I lying, bro?
Nah, man, you've been with them all day, man.
And the thing is, don't get me twisted. Don't see this is what parents don't really acknowledge. I love my children, but boy,
yep,
they don't understand personal space. My oldest just want to play, grabbing on me all the time, dog. If I had to be a stay-at-home dad tomorrow, we'll probably have to fight. I love him. I do, but it can be so overwhelming because you don't have time to think. And I am ranting, dad rant real quick. Even to this point, you even have you have to make a decision every time they go down to take a nap. Do I want my energy back, or do I want to get this thing done? Literally every time they're going down for a nap. So I said that to say, me personally, I think it takes a special person to be a stay-at-home whatever.
Yeah.
It just does, dog. I'm not for it. I wouldn't even. Hey, look, if I had enough money to make my wife stay at home, I'd get a nanny. Fuck that. I'm not going through that.
Yeah.
I'm not going through that. I'm not going through it, bro. That joint is so taxing for anybody, emotionally, mentally, and like, nah.
At that age, at that age, it is. At that age, it is.
And that's why I'm speaking to my experiences.
When I was in college, I was a nanny. For a woman, she had 3 boys at the time, or 4. It was like 4 under like 6, and it was wild. And where would she be? She would be upstairs in her room, and she would just say, "Please, I just need a break," because she was a stay-at-home mom, but she had me as a nanny. And so I would go over a couple days out the week, literally just so she could breathe. And she would say, "I'm upstairs. I have told them that I'm going to the store. I am not here. Do not disturb me if anything goes wrong, call her dad." And she was just legit, just upstairs chilling, just chilling, because she needed that break.
I'm not. Asia, I had a joke that I ain't say, man. I've been on joke time tonight.
Good job.
Anyway, Hey, so hey man, appreciate everybody that's been tapping in. Any more thing else on the allowance before we close out?
Mm-mm.
All
No.
right, man. Hey, man. Salute to Lewis and Prince. That's super dope topics of the night, man. Appreciate everybody that's been tapping in with us, man. We are the Monday Night Crew. We record every other Monday, man. Please like, subscribe. That's how we grow the platform. That's how we grow the show. Thank you, everybody. It's your boy K. Mims. I got the ladies of the show, Miss Asia, Princess, and Brittany. My bros, Louis B and DJ J Dub. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.
Bye.
Let's get it.
And golly. And it got to be a night where we super popping tonight, right? I got a question for you ladies. Not that woman, not that thing. Was it fair? Was his logic behind what he was trying to say about making a mistake the first time and then doing something the second time? And I get it gets touch and feely with kids because I felt like he was just saying a vetting process. Let me acknowledge that things happen. Hopefully nobody is just having kids without actually doing the vetting process, dating or whatever the case may be. Was the logic bad or was it the delivery? I'm asking a question.
I think it was more so the delivery, and it wasn't his place to have that conversation with her. He does not know that woman.
For sure. 110%. Lewis, man, what's your thoughts, bro?
You know, my wife and I were watching that one live together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to dismiss what Princess said, you know what I mean? Because that's not something that I've known or I look for. But what I found to be interesting, and I got frustrated with it, is because he assumed that multiple women had multiple baby fathers, and they did. Right? He was assumptive in his questioning, and he was right every time about them having multiple baby fathers. Mm-hmm. Right? And then when he got to the one where the girls start popping, all the rest of the girls start popping their balloons, it's because he was right again. And if it was an environment that I was in, I'd be frustrated because I'm like, I'm probably running into this ish all the time. And when homegirl got defensive, right, then he started probing and he was like, listen, you know, typically, if that's not something that you want to be, you wouldn't put yourself in position for that to continuously happen. The best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. Mm-hmm. And it appeared to me that neither of those women that he was talking to wanted to take accountability for having multiple baby fathers. To my bro, Jay, I respect 100%, 110% what you were saying. But to this point, I think as a single man, if you are not out here sowing seeds, if you're not out here sowing seeds with multiple women, it's okay for you to have a certain standard to not want to be with a woman who has given birth to multiple children by different men. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially if you did it one time and your goal is to get married, why would you continuously put yourself in a situation or repetitively put yourself in a situation to where you are now a multiple childbearing mom to different dudes? To me, it's okay to have a standard of that.
Mm-hmm. I think, okay. I think that was great. Let me just add a quick thing though. I think what we're taking out of this dating scene is that context. You have a lot of people with manipulation. You have a lot of people that are showing up in relationships that are not their true self. So let's say that second baby daddy was, you know, you have people when you talk, you pillow talk, they may be saying, okay, I know this is what you want, you know, and then it doesn't happen. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't have learned from the past. I'm just saying that he does have a preference. I agree with him. Okay, I don't want to date no woman with 3-4 baby daddy. I'm kissing that. I ain't tripping on that. But the way that it was delivered in that moment and in that environment, I don't think that was a conversation at that moment.
Yeah. But it is because you got multiple people. This is a random group of women who are all in a very similar scenario. And that's why I'm frustrated with it. I was mad that he was assumptive. I was defensive in part of the women initially, right? Mm-hmm. But then he kept assuming that they all had kids with multiple men, and they did. But Louis, so how are you guys upset with him by creating that accountability? Hold on, my bad, bro. I'm just saying, this is where I got frustrated. Mm-hmm. It was embarrassing for me to see that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, he's wrong for assuming that that's the case. But he was right.
He was
But
right.
then they all getting defended about it. But he's
He-
right. You
was-
proving his point.
He was right, Lewis. But let me ask you a question though. To me, it would have made more sense if he was arguing with the women that still had their balloon. They already popped already, so the interest wasn't even there for him anyway. If somebody that still had their balloon and he was arguing that, then he said that and you got multiple and then he popped their balloon, to me it will make more sense. They already popped their balloon.
You're saying it in the sense of the actual show. I'm speaking on just visual. Like you got 20 women in a room and half of y'all got multiple baby fathers.
Right.
I'm like, it's embarrassing. Like this dude is the way he was assumptive in his questioning, and he was right. And I was upset that he was right that much.
Got you.
Like that to me that bothered me.
I see what you're saying.
And I understand what you're saying, Lewis. However, but I don't think that those women owed him any accountability. That was my issue with it. Like I think, like I said, he had every right to say, anybody, everybody. A lot of people go up there and say, anybody have kids? How many kids do you have? How many baby daddies? But in the context of the conversation should have ended there, because who are you to stand there and continue to question me and try to make me feel some type of way? For one, my balloon is already popped on you, but you got the answers. So why are you antagonizing me at this point? And I think the reason why more women continue to pop their balloon, it was because of exactly what he was doing and also the tone that came with that. Because if you're a woman, whether I have 5 baby daddies, who are you to sit here and question me about my decisions on this show? I gave you the answer. I was truthful, but you're not going to make me feel less than for my decisions when you came on this dating show. Like, this isn't the time or the place, and I don't owe you anything. So that's really the reason why I feel like multiple women continue to pop their balloons on him. He was definitely given like little man syndrome. It was like he gave a tantrum because those women popped the balloon on him, and then they gave him a little bit of ammo, and then he ran with it.
All right, so we got a couple of comments. Brittany said he intentionally tried to belittle the women. Have your preference, that's fine, but don't try to check me. TF. I won't say what it means. From DJ Marcusell, if you ain't planning to have that baby, it's a mistake. A spade is a spade. He ain't need to speak on it because he wasn't planning on being around anyway.
Thanks.
I don't know if he dug enough to say if they didn't give enough context to their second child's father to know if there's mistakes or not. This is what I will say, and I don't know how popular or unpopular this may be, but I'll say this. I don't know how, like Jay was talking earlier about how like dudes pillow talk, they be all in your ear, like woo, 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 blah, blah, blah. I am not placing blame. I'm talking about a general scenario. I feel like if you don't see something with this person and women are the only ones that could carry children, you know what I'm saying? You got to protect yourself if you feel like it's not going there. You know what I'm saying? Like whether he's spitting the game, doing what he do, ooh, love, woo, woo, protect yourself. This is no way for him blaming what they were saying as far as mistakes and stuff like that. I'm not getting into that because fortunately, like women carry the babies. He can say whatever he want to say, but you got to protect yourself in that instance because I do think that things happen. However, like you would need more context to this second baby daddy situation, third baby daddy situation. I don't think it's fair to judge a woman because she has multiple. If you get a little context around what happens, then you can make a fair judgment call, which I feel like that's
what do you judge her on?
I mean, this is the thing. If I'm interested, I'm gonna ask a little more questions, right? Like because.
But you judge people based on what though?
The way they look. Anybody get me caught up in the game?
And you judge people on the decisions that they made.
That's true.
But why did so
Can I just
go ahead.
Real quick. Couple things here. The first thing is that what I was not happy with is the fact that he took it upon himself to educate women, but he did not take it upon himself to do it in a way that they could receive it anyway. So if the point that he was trying to make is like, hey y'all, as Black women, let's try to make better decisions, it was never going to be received by them because of how he said it. So
they wouldn't have received that.
If he decided to do what he did, because he did it,
right? You then have to say, what was his intent? Because from what I heard, he was in his feelings because of what Lewis is saying. His frustration was from the same frustration. I hear that. But then it's like, okay, was it just to express your frustration, or was it to educate? Because he did not do it in a way that it was going to be received. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I wish that he would have then asked different questions, because, and I'm going to say it like this, out of however many women that were there that had multiple children, right, multiple baby fathers or whatever, and I did not see the whole thing, so I'm not sure, y'all, but there's so much context that plays a role. So for instance, what if for her she had a child when she was 15 years old? She's now 30. She then did wait, right? She then did meet somebody or whatever the case may be. And I literally have a client that, like, the plan was, she was like, I don't even want this child, right? I don't think that it's a good idea to have another child, all the things. This person, right, cried all the things, said all the things. And do you know why she's with me? Because of the decision that she made, because another person, right, made her feel guilty for not wanting to have their child, right? And so I do think that there is other context that should have been explored if his whole purpose was, right, because he could be frustrated. I get it. It makes a lot of sense, right? Like, for instance, I would be just as irritated if I was on the other end of it and every dude that's up there told me that they have 3 children and 3 baby moms. I would also be very extremely frustrated. I would. But I would not sit there and then chastise this one person in the way that I did, because in my mind, he's not hearing what I'm saying at all. So I think if you're going to educate somebody, you should do it in a way that they receive it. Why
disagree.
Why did he have
I
to
don't
be the one
think you
to
could.
educate her?
I don't think you could tell black women anything like that when it comes to that. I think black women are so defensive when you give them accountability around something like that. But
Do you
us as
think he said
black
it in the right
men,
way?
no, he didn't. I agree with you on that. And I don't think his intention was to educate. But what I'm saying is, the minute that you start to give them accountability, in my experiences about something like that, and people in general don't like being accountable, so I'm not going to generalize it. I'm going to generalize it for a moment, but I'm going to take it back specifically to black women. And here's the thing that I really like that Kevin Samuels used to do. He used to create that accountability, and he did it with the right intentions, and people started to receive it, right? But it just frustrates me how maybe he wasn't the right representative of it, but it alluded to a bigger issue or an issue in our community. And I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. In your scenario that you gave with someone that you're talking with, it's still their choice, right? Someone made them feel a certain way and they made a decision. They made a poor decision.
Right.
So it's still that accountability is still on them. So I don't think, and I think that really alludes to a bigger issue. Having a child takes an act. And it takes a conscious act for a child to be born. So as much what's the word I'm looking for? As much grace or leniency we may want to project on this issue, there's a bigger issue at hand. And I think that just as and we talked about this a few months ago about giving grace to black men and all this other stuff. But when we talk about with black women having multiple babies by multiple guys, it's a real sensitive issue at that point. I feel like I think that's unfair. I feel like as a black man, I can't call black women out on stuff like that. But I feel like as a black man, black women call us out on stuff all the time. And I'm not talking to y'all, in general, to you ladies on the pod, but I'm saying in general, that's how I feel. That's my experience.
Well, yeah, I don't have kids, so, but I do think, like, but in what ways, right? Because, and I think it goes back to, because you said you didn't want to generalize, but you started to, right?
I did,
thinking about, because the way of like holding, like in that context, right? And I mean, just thinking about that show, not the larger issue, because I do agree with you, right? I genuinely do with what you're talking about in the larger community. But when we think about that particular show, that man, I do not think that was the right place for him to start chastising her without having the context. Because for me, because even when she said there's more to it and all the things, in my mind, what happens if she there was harm done to her, right? Then led her to have this child, right? Like I'm thinking of like all the context that he did not ask before having the conversation. My thing is, at any point, if you're going to have a conversation where you want to be heard, you have to understand the full scope of the thing. People are not a monolith. Out of all those women that popped the balloon, that have multiple children and all the things, I guarantee you all their stories are not the same. They're just
But
not.
the monolith would be, but then they kind of are because they all had the same scenario.
So if
Yo,
one,
Lewis
okay,
is not
I don't want
letting
to
up,
say it like
boy.
this,
I'm not
but
because
if one,
I hate that shit, man.
and
I
that's
hate that
fine,
shit.
but once again, you still have to look at their whole story. So if you're telling me that one person was being physically harmed and then was made to have a child.
All right, man. So fair or foul vibes, man. You know, this was given still by Princess, curated this vibe as well. So you chilling, your life is exactly how it looks right now. You get this text message. You can quit your job when you're ready. I'm gonna get you a car for $450 weekly allowance. Love, but you have to handle all house needs, no bills. You get that text. Fair or foul, you quitting your job or you staying with it?
Foul.
What the?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nah.
450 ain't enough.
That's not. Yeah, I was gonna say that's too little.
450 is not enough.
Hold
the
on.
only way that would be fair for me is if that was roughly how much I made weekly.
But I got a
if
question.
I made around that amount or less, then cool. That's fair.
So it needs to supplement your income?
If you want me to stop working.
Hold on. Princess, may I?
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't that mean, so I hear what you're saying, but if I'm eliminating your bills,
right?
We're talking about the money left over. $450 left over a week is decent. No?
No.
She
I
can't.
don't. I what?
She can't buy no Louis Vuitton on $450 a week.
Here you go. Here you go.
You're right. Facts. I can't. I also can't travel that much with that either. But
Princess, each week you can get something. You buy the ticket week 1. You buy the flight week 2. You buy the hotel week 3. Spend the money week 4. Bow.
And it's not even about. But what I'm saying is, like, for you to offer me $450 a week and to tell me to stop working, that's still, in my opinion, minimizing, like where I am currently.
So
even though you're taking away the
Hold on.
bills, because then
Hold on,
you're
Kitty.
telling me I
So-
gotta clean up and cook for you every night.
So
I'm not a
is
fan of that either.
Is it tied to what you know you can produce for yourself as opposed to what
Yes.
he's giving you? So it's like you're limiting what you know you could do for yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
As opposed to supplementing a lifestyle. Because you have the lifestyle, but you know I can on my own, I can bring in more than this and have what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But
what if, can I just say something, like, I genuinely like my job. At least one of them.
That too.
So like for me, it's like, so I'm supposed to sit at home, right? I clean up and all the things, which I already do for myself, because you said the current life I have, right? And it's like, then what? Be like, just wait for you to come home? Like for me, I literally, I feel like I live a fulfilled life because I genuinely like the work that I do. Like it gives me purpose. So for me, I don't want to be sitting at home. It's not, for me, it's not just so much about the income that I make for myself. Like, I feel like the work that I do gives me purpose. So for me, it's like, so I'm supposed to not do that, to do the things I already currently do, and then do nothing else with that and just wait for you to get home.
Why does it go to like this, like rotten, like sit on the couch every day, wait for you to get home vibe?
Okay, so what I'm asking then, Keenan, so then I would just be, because what I'm saying is, so then I would just be, what, going to work but not getting paid? Like, what would I be doing with that time? Because I feel like what I currently do now feeds into my purpose. So what would I be doing, even if I'm not recording? Like, I'm become a content creator.
Hey,
You
hey,
could,
But I
but
don't want
hey.
to, because I love
yeah.
my job. You see what I'm saying? Like, I love my job. I would rather be doing groups.
So let me ask you a question. May I?
Of course.
Do you feel like you're stripping a part of your identity if you were to quit your job? Like, why can't you fulfill your purpose in another way? So I agree with you. You love your job. You said it's within your purpose. So do you feel like if you're not doing that job in a specific way you're doing it, you losing a part of your identity?
Mm-mm. I don't feel that way, because I think that even with the job that I'm doing now, like, I see it evolving, right? But
Mhm.
but my spouse would be asking me to quit my job, which I guess is like, is it just that job, or is it like, hey, I don't want you to work? Because for me, then I'm like, okay, cool, then I'll just start my business
Mhm.
doing groups, which would be me doing the same thing that I'm doing now, just with a different name on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm still working. So like,
Yeah.
I'm still not going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's for me. That's why I went to, what else would I be doing with my time?
So zero to do with the 450.
For me, no, like, that's not, I
Mhm.
like, number one, I know I can provide for myself, but it's more of like, what else would I be doing with that time?
Yeah. I think the only way that this would kind of work is if you're a mom. Because
Yep.
if you're asking me to quit my job, even if it is something that I like, I can now be an efficient mom. Like, there's no excuse for me not to be a bomb ass mom and a wife too, because I have time now to do those things. And if you're taking care of all the bills, including the kids, and I have 450 a week, like, now I'm able to be a mom, fulfill the responsibilities 100%, right? And then still get that quote unquote allowance, which, by the way, I hate that word. I'm not a kid. But yeah.
I, I don't
You
know.
prefer a stipend?
I was gonna say stipend.
Hey, look, if
That's
if
more
we
adult.
if our lifestyle don't change, give me that 450. It'd be the cleanest. I pay for the cleaning service. I pay for the cleaning service out of the first payment. I get
No.
it in after that.
I'm not
I'm
gonna lie, 450 don't go
But
very far
but this is
anymore.
what I'm saying. I'm not
No,
looking
it
at the
doesn't.
450 as my only. So look, this is my mindset, and I'm gonna be like, I'm not saying I want to be a stay-at-home dad. I don't even really care how people perceive it. What I'm saying is, if you gave me my time the way it looks now, my kids still went to school. I wake up, get them ready, they still go to school, and I'm allotted when they get to school to when they get out to be able to move how I want. Oh, it won't be long. I'll take that 450 for a year. It won't be long.
That's I get what you're saying. I'm gonna go back to Princess's point, or what I assume, or what I thought Princess's point was. I just know that I can generate more, and I want to maximize that as much as possible.
But
So
mhm.
I think that, and it also ties back into purpose, because I feel like my purpose is tied to what I can create and provide for myself. It's
Mhm.
I'm probably not as at peace as Asia is, which I think is beautiful. And I think it's good to have that perspective, because you don't hear people talk about that a lot, about them being fulfilled and enjoying what they do. You know, that I think that's beautiful. But for me, I I'm better when I'm pushing myself, in that capacity. That's just
So
me.
may I, Lewis? May I?
Yes. Yeah. No, of course.
Okay. All right. So my thing is, and I really want. I'm asking you and Princess and Asia. Why does quitting the job now limit your like? Why does that limit what you can provide? Like, what? Why doesn't it make you create something or do something that you can still provide? It may not be what it was when you quit, but you
Mhm.
can now go build that thing and still provide in that way.
Because I think we all chose jobs that fulfilled it to a degree. I think we make the choice to choose the careers that we're currently in. We're all capable people. If we weren't in a place or position where it was worth, not just from a money perspective, but worth fulfilling our needs as people, we probably wouldn't be doing it anyway.
That's true.
I'm gonna
Does
tell
that
I
make
will.
you.
sense?
Yeah.
I will say that I would feel differently, to Britt's point, if I had kids and that gave me the
Mhm.
opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom. I would definitely feel differently, and I would possibly feel differently if I absolutely just hated what I did for a living.
So I'm gonna tell you why I feel so strongly on this. So y'all know I taught for 10 years and I had summers off. And I really realized the power of time. When you have intentional time, when you wake up, even before I had kids, you wake up and it's like you see how fast everybody else is moving, and you see how much you can really get done in a day when you're intentional about your own time. So I had the career, I had the job, but here I was allotted 8 weeks where I was still getting paid, but I didn't have to go report anywhere. So in my mind, in those summers, I was able to make up more ground on what I wanted to do in those 8 weeks that most people got to do in a year. So I guess for me, it's like being able to see that in real time. I just don't. If the thing for me, if you paying all the bills, and I know it sounds weird coming from a guy, I don't see it as me staying at home trying to be at home.
So, and I think that's where the disconnect is. So let's change and say that you are a stay-at-home father full time, though, meaning the kids are staying there and you're homeschooling. You don't get that free.
I'm not doing that. No.
So I think looking at it from, I have that free time to do all this stuff. We're looking at
my kids in school. She paying all the bills, so they going to school.
But if Brittany's gonna be a stay-at-home mom, the kid's gonna be there too. They're young.
Oh no.
You look at it from like a young perspective, like your kids are young now. They're not in school. They offered you, your woman offered you that position. Would you take that for $450 a week and staying at home with the kids?
Hell no.
All right, then.
and I also think that the perspective for a woman is different because like I was raised to like have your own, right? So for me, $450 a week plus, didn't the end of the text say, okay, I'll pay all the bills, and then he said, what?
You take care of the house stuff.
You take care of
all the house needs, no bills.
Yeah, like for me, I always feel like stuff like that is like a way of controlling for a lot of people, not for everyone. And so you can't control me off of $450 a week. You get what I'm saying?
How much it costs?
Can he pay to control you?
Yeah, how much it costs?
Like that's not you can't do that with $450 a week. It has to be more than $450 a week. I don't care if you are paying the bills.
How much can he control you? I'm just saying, what's that price? What's that price tag?
What's that number?
I can't give you a number, but I'm just saying, like it's coming off like controlling to me, and $450 just doesn't seem like enough for me to like your meal gonna be hot and ready every night.
So that's why the $450 take care of Uber Eats too. So I'm saying this. what Princess, real question, because this is what gets me, yo. Right? Like, I feel like as millennials, we attach to lifestyle so much, right? But like, let me ask y'all this: if y'all had to do that for 3 years for the greater goal to be accomplished, would you do it then?
What's the greater goal, bro?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Say if you had to do that. Say if you had to do that because it was easier. I guess I'm just throwing this out there. It was easier for you to stay home and eliminate childcare and some other things. You staying home saved us money in order for us to go do the next thing, whether it's buy a house or do whatever the next setup is. Like you staying home and me doing that saved us money versus paying the $3,000 in child care every month. Would that change the perspective if you could see where it was going and then you were asked that?
Yeah, I said it would change the perspective if it came down to kids. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But that brings in a different element because I feel moment of vulnerability, right? Been there for real, been there. Where I had to take a sacrifice in terms of childcare during COVID. Work like changed for me. Right. So I'm looking, I just finished a master's degree. Oop, can't apply the degree because I got a kid at home. But I knew husband was out making moves, doing all these things to put us in a better space, once COVID kind of settled down. And now we're reaping the benefits I'm reaping the benefits really of that sacrifice. And we're kind of doing that together. But it brings in so the answer to the question, Keenan, is yes. However, when you're in it, it's kind of hard to see the greater goal. like you really want to throw in the towel sometimes. It brings in a different vibe because you're not always in a good space because you're the one that's making the sacrifice. So I'll say that you have to consistently remind yourself that there is a greater goal. So for some people, it might be easier to say, no, I'm not going to do that because the greater goal seems so far-fetched and I have to sit in this mud for this X amount of time, and I really don't want to do that. I'd rather get to the finish line quicker or a different way where I don't have to sacrifice my own personal, I don't even want to say happiness because it wasn't sadness, but like my own self-fulfillment temporarily just to get to the end goal. Some people don't want to do that.
That was good, Brittany.
Jay, did you pick?
Yeah, I did.
What did you say? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. That's not enough.
Okay.
No.
What's your number, Jay?
Yeah, yeah.
You can be
What's
pimped
your
out too, my
price?
boy. What's your number?
Yeah.
Nah, I have a number. I'm just not doing that. Some people, I'ma just be. I don't want to be a stay-at-home anything. I've never had a stay-at-home job. I don't want to be stay-at-home anything. That's just me. Hell
You
no.
know, the thing
I'm
is,
with you, bro. I gotta work. I gotta do something.
I just don't equate it to not doing anything. I think it's what the point I won't let up on. I get what you're saying though, Lewis, but it's not saying they're not doing anything. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A lot of dudes wouldn't say this. I believe myself to be a pretty good dad. I love my babies.
Yeah.
I've been with my babies this Friday through today. And if I knew for a fact I didn't have to go to work tomorrow, I might have canceled the night. What? I would have to go to no, and it ain't even. Hey, yo.
We've been with them all day.
Hey, bro. Hey, Lewis, am I lying, bro?
Nah, man, you've been with them all day, man.
And the thing is, don't get me twisted. Don't see this is what parents don't really acknowledge. I love my children, but boy, yo, they don't understand personal space. My oldest just want to play, grabbing on me all the time, dog. If I had to be a stay-at-home dad tomorrow, we'll probably have to fight. I love him. I love him. I do, but it can be so overwhelming because you don't have time to think. And I am ranting, dad rant real quick. Even to this point, you even have you have to make a decision every time they go down to take a nap. Do I want my energy back, or do I want to get this thing done? Literally every time they're going down for a nap. So I said that to say, me personally, I think it takes a special person to be a stay-at-home whatever.
Yeah.
It just does, dog. I'm not for it. I wouldn't even. Hey, look, if I had enough money to make my wife stay at home, I'd get a nanny. Fuck that. I'm not going through that.
Yeah.
I'm not going through that. I'm not going through it, bro. That joint is so taxing for anybody, emotionally, mentally, and like, nah.
At that age, at that age, it is. At that age, it is.
And that's why I'm speaking to my experiences.
When I was in college, I was a nanny. For a woman, she had 3 boys at the time, or 4. It was like 4 under like 6, and yeah, it was wild. And where would she be? She would be upstairs in her room, and she would just say, "Please, I just need a break," because she was a stay-at-home mom, but she had me as a nanny. And so I would go over a couple days out the week, literally just so she could breathe. And she would say, "I'm upstairs. I have told them that I'm going to the store. I am not here. Do not disturb me for if anything goes wrong, call her dad." And she was just legit, just upstairs chilling, just chilling, because she needed that break.
I'm not. Asia, I had a joke that I ain't say, man, 'cause I've been on joke time tonight.
Good job.
Anyway. Hey, so hey, man, appreciate everybody that's been tapping in. Any more thing else on the allowance before we close out? All right, man. Hey, man, salute to Lewis and Prince. That's super dope topics of the night, man. Appreciate everybody that's been tapping in with us, man. We are the Monday Night Crew. We record every other Monday, man. Please like, subscribe. That's how we grow the platform. That's how we grow the show. Thank you, everybody. It's your boy K.Mims. I got the ladies of the show, Miss Asia, Princess, and Brittany. My bros, Louis B and DJ J Dub. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.
Bye.
Let's get it.
Brittany, stop it, man.
Why?
Brittany, guns, boy. No.
They still have a relationship, right? It may not be the same, but they still have a relationship. So I think it is like I think you should be considerate. Now you shouldn't change who you are, right? But you should be considerate of that person because they also share a child, right? And it's something that someone that you still care about. It's just a different level of caring, so to speak. But I think there should be some consideration personally.
But
I just don't think she was doing anything crazy. Like I don't think the videos she was making were some outlandish, disrespectful things. And why are we catering to his feelings? Like I just if this is me and who I am, right? Like if I was doing these videos before, there's no different. I mean, there might be a different undertone, there might be a different meaning. Okay, fine. Maybe I need to lighten it up if I realize that, because I don't mean no disrespect. But I just kind of feel like why should I have to, if I'm used to doing something, why am I considering somebody else's feelings when I'm doing something that I used to do or I always do? That doesn't mean that I'm less of a co-parent or I'm less of a mom or I'm less of a baby mom, whatever to you. That's not fair. That's not fair for her. I don't think, and that's what I'm saying. Like, now if she was doing some off the wall videos, being downright disrespectful to her previous relationship, then all right, okay, we have something to talk about. But I really haven't seen anything where I'm like, oh, okay, she needs to tone it down a little bit.
Can I ask you a question? I want to ask you, Brittany, and I know you're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna ask you this. Now, last show, at the end of the show, we were talking about male feelings and communicating and what matters and all this stuff, right? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So get is nothing reckless. She's not saying anything reckless. He comes to you, y'all are going through the separation, divorce, whatever, you're trying to make it amicable, whatever the case may be, right? So he lets you know that it bothers him now. Like, it's hard for me to see you just so, X, Y, and Z. Like, I just need that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He says it to you. And you're saying, why do I gotta consider that?
Yeah, I'm still gonna say that.
I'm sorry. I would really have to agree with that. Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. My screen looks weird. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Go ahead. You was about to add on.
I agree. I agree with you, Britt. Like, I don't know, and I guess I pay attention to her corny videos, and I don't feel like she's done anything wildly disrespectful. I remember like an interview coming out where she was talking about how it's hard being single and whatever. So that was an interview, not one of her corny videos. And then I recall one where she was kind of like, it was like a little joke about younger dudes hitting on her or whatever. But outside of that, I really don't recall her doing a whole bunch of videos about dating.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing, and I'm not knocking her. I'm not getting on her videos or his content. But if somebody comes to you and says it's bothering them that you're supposed to, quote unquote, have been, like, and this is the thing, in them same interviews.
Not to cut you off, Sneak. Did he come to her and say that?
No, I'm just having a conversation. No, I'm just having a conversation. Yeah. But so, like, I'm also saying in that very same regard, when you get on and say, yeah, I feel like I graduated from marriage or I graduated from this, like, that could be taken one way or the other. Like, graduation feels very like, yeah, I left that behind. I'm better than that now. Like, you say things like that. Hey, I'm not saying she should or shouldn't. I'm not saying y'all should change your mind. But I'm trying to understand, if we were once these two people locked in a marriage, me and you versus the world, and we're trying to get out of this thing in a respectful way. And I'm coming, and this is another thing that he said that I get at. I don't think mothers understand this as much. And I'm being honest. Most of the times when I see divorces happen, kids typically go with their moms, right? When you're a dad that's very involved in his children's life, and you get that taken away, and now your dynamic is that you're not with them all the time, that can mess with you on top of what you're going through with the wife. That's very hard, right? Mm-hmm. So you have all those feelings, and we're supposed to be locked in once upon a time, and now I'm telling you, like, hey, look, this is how I'm feeling, like this, that, and the third, woo, woo. Why does what we once have and respect for what we once had until we get out of it? Like, I'm not saying be all considerate way far beyond. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like until we get out of it, why is there not going to be a line in the sand like, hey, can we get here first and then you do whatever you got to do and I got to deal with it? I'm not saying they be divorced for 2 years and she's still like, oh, I can't post this. But she ain't really stopped during the whole moment.
I don't know. I just don't see a problem. It's what she's posting. Like you literally have to show me something that was disrespectful to him or cross that line boundary that they quote unquote drew in the sand, whatever, leading towards divorce. Like if I'm leaving you, I'm out the door. That does not take away from the father that you are. That does not take away from the relationship that we built, right? My intentions are never to disrespect you. But if I say that, oh, I graduated from marriage, or if I'm like, that's how I'm describing my feelings in this moment in time, in this mindset. So it could be a conversation of maybe your use of language, words hurt my feelings type thing. Like maybe that's something they need to talk about. I don't know. But either way, like for you to just say like, why is she not considerate of the feeling? I
didn't say that. I said if he came to you and said it was bothering him, not just outright considerate. If he came to you and said, hey, X, Y, and Z, I feel like the bigger double standard is not that a guy wants to be touched that way, and when it happens, it's taken differently. But I feel like the double standard is that if it was reversed, he would be in cuffs. Like one can't do it at all, and one is allowed to do it. That is the double standard to me versus actually like a guy, he might not, it's the soft guy era. That's what everybody like. He might be talking, like it might be different. You know what I'm saying? But I think the thing is the double standard is like if he would have did that on live to anybody, don't matter, famous or whatever, there will be a warrant out right now.
Yep.
Straight up. That's the double standard. My man, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's just like, oh, I gotta put something on IG and that's the end of it. It's crazy. But I'm sorry, that was my little spill to what you said.
No, I'll agree. And just speaking from a man perspective, this happened to me, but it is what it is. But I think that y'all laughing, but I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. You know what I mean?
How'd you handle it?
I didn't really, it was someone that I wanted to have some certain types of interactions with. So I didn't trip. But then I think about like as women, and I had this conversation with Asia, like to think about constantly feeling like you got to protect yourself in that space is so uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? And I could only imagine if I was in an environment where I didn't like somebody and they were doing that. Like it's uncomfortable enough for me to have conversations with people who it was hard enough for me to have conversations with people who I weren't attracted to, right? Letting them down. So I can only imagine someone that I didn't have any interest in groping me. You get what I'm saying? Like how vulnerable that would make me feel. That sounds crazy, but I'm just really putting myself in that space right now. And that is like, that's absolutely nuts. I would also add another double standard would be for men. Typically, if a woman grabbed us or tried to get access to us, we could maybe fend them off a little bit easier, right? Just based on biology. But for women, one would assume typically they would not have the biology advantage to fend off a man. So I think that's also another double standard. Doesn't legitimize either, but I would say that's also kind of how it's taken in a different context.
Absolutely agree, bro. What about you, Asia? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. I think it's disrespectful. I think one of the things too that people have talked about for a long time is the male, like, I feel like the way that a woman's body responds to certain touches is very different than the way that a man's body responds, right? So like sometimes if a man is touched a specific way, we're going to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay,
Even if it's for a little bit.
I don't know what you mean. What you mean? Say that again.
You know exactly what I mean.
Well,
you mean arousal?
Yes.
Oh, I hate him, man. Yeah, thank you, Louis. Yeah, that's what she's talking about, brother. That's what
I didn't say the layman's term.
Yeah.
But for a woman, it would be it takes more work for us to even get aroused, right? So when it's an unwanted touch, it's definitely not that. And so I think that sometimes people they'll say like, well, he wanted it. Well, like, so he's mad that I'm like touching him, you know, and it's like, well, he was still reacting to it, you know, and I think that part is sad, right? Because it doesn't make it right, right? It doesn't mean that it was a wanted thing, but I think people then use those excuses as like, I mean, I seen him react to it, so it's not that bad, you know, which I think it sucks. And for me, I have a thing too when it comes just on the topic in general. Um, when it comes to like black men, my heart just starts to like break a little bit only because like historically speaking just how black men have been lied on and continue to be lied on when it comes to this type of stuff and the way that they have to defend themselves and fight and all these things, and sometimes they're not even believed, whereas if a woman were to make allegations, whether it is true or not, she is believed off rip. It's almost like surprising if she is lying, right? And so for me, I think my heart always just gets a little like, dang, like it sucks. It shouldn't have to be that much of a fight. You know, for him to say like this is something that I did not want. I felt uncomfortable without his masculinity, without him being a man, without all those things being put into question.
Is in this instance, is he obligated to protect that black woman?
No. Over himself? No.
I'm asking a fair. I'm just.
No, I'm saying, yeah, over
asking
himself.
a question.
I don't think so. She shouldn't have did it.
Okay.
Hey, back to this arousal conversation. No, I'm just kidding.
I hate him. Hey, that lets me know at minute 30, Lewis is sleepy. I'm telling you right now. That lets me know right there, Lewis is sleepy. All right, man. So we got a couple of videos to react to. That's what we got popping off next. All right, man. So if you
real quick.
No, I love it. I love
it. Just to that point, right? I do agree with what Keenan said. I think that people know at any age, and this is just being honest, that you going back and forth with anybody, you look crazy. Now, I think the point is whether you care or not. That's really what it is, whether you're prioritizing it or not. The only reason why I'm saying this is because even when you're in grade school, right? Like they tell you, don't fight, right? So you know that it's not necessarily beneficial and you look crazy going back and forth, but if you care or not, that's the point. A lot of times they just don't care, so they're going to keep doing that, and I'm seeing it in the context of you going back and forth with anybody in public. That is something that we are literally taught in kindergarten. So the whole thing that I'm saying with that is there are certain things that it's like that we do know, we have a basic understanding of, whether we apply it, whether we care enough to apply it, or we prioritize it. I think those are the things that do change. There are certain things that we don't know. There are also certain things, be kind to yourself. We're taught that at a young age, right? Be gentle with yourself. All those things, you're taught that in school. So at some point, it's like there are certain things that it's like people are just not applying to larger scenarios, right? But you know not to argue and fight. There's consequences for that.
That extends to both of them, though, right? Because what Keenan was saying was,
to both.
but what Keenan said, Keenan, I hate to quote you because I know what happens if I misquote this, brother.
all good, brother.
But from what I remember, you said that he didn't have the right to do it because he initiated her. He sparked that or invoked that emotion out of her. So he didn't have the right to continue to go back and forth. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
Paraphrasing, yeah, similar to.
So I think in this scenario, that to Asa's point, that goes to, but that responsibility is on both of them. So when he's singled out, it's like, well, man, I got this. I'm good. She coming at me. I'm defending myself.
How when you cause a reaction?
What if he didn't know he was going to cause it?
Lewis, it doesn't matter if you don't know. If I go somewhere and somebody takes we've talked about this before. If I do something and you take it away and you respond differently, but your action is a reaction to me, I can't control how people react to what I do. Maybe he did not know. Right. But she came in the car and told him, yo, you really left me outside? So at that point, you knew what her static was coming from. Then you knew everything that followed was a reaction from what she said. I mean, from what you did. So all I'm saying is, in the moment, in this context of the scenario, what I was trying to say was, like, she acknowledged that him doing that made her mad. She started going off.
So let me
So
ask you a question. She gonna acknowledge that before Britt said something to her?
Say again?
Was she gonna acknowledge what happened before somebody said something to her?
Nobody said anything to her.
Or
Brittany
y'all said something to him, right?
She was still in the club.
Okay.
He got in the car. Brittany said, "Man, don't leave her." By the time he tried to get out the car, she came out the club going off. She never said anything to her. She only said to him, "Don't leave your girl." She never said nothing to her.
Oh, he was good. He was getting out.
Huh?
He was about to correct it, and she was upset.
I'm not. I mean, I don't
Man,
know.
he can't win. You know what I would have did? You know what I would have did?
It's good, 'cause I'm saying my point. I agree with Lakeith saying, like, it validates our work and our experiences. But what I will say is there comes a time and place where, like, you can't have it both ways. I can't do what I want. People react how they want to, and then I say, "Oh, I'm justified in reacting to your reaction." I caused it.
It's just, I mean,
I ain't saying go crazy, but I caused it.
I don't know. I know how to treat women, and I know I wouldn't have never done that. But to say he caused all of that, the man was just getting in a damn car. Like,
can you control?
No, Jay,
Man,
you are
I'm with
not
Jay.
about to
I'm with
just
Jay.
get in no car.
I'm with Jay.
I would have
You
never
saw
done.
me. You saw me leaving.
Would have never done that. But what I'm saying is, y'all leaving with a group of family members and friends. He got in the damn. Come on, y'all.
All right, you got you. Hey,
You know what I would have did?
Before we transfer over, some parents in schools preach not going back and forth to elementary students, but then go back and forth with them in front of the same.
What good is what's taught if
Touché.
it's not applied at home? Well, if you don't see it every day.
Touche.
All right. Can I tell you what I would have done?
Huh?
Can I tell you what I would have done?
No. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I won't tell you.
Hey, now go ahead, brother. Tell her what you would have did.
She'd be like, "You left me in the club," and I'm like, "Nope, but I'm leaving now." And I'd have left her ass right there. Got another number.
Okay.
I knew Lewis was going to say
Yeah,
that.
Lewis, you didn't want her then.
Get your ass on. Call the fan. Now who looks stupid? You could be yelling out there by yourself. I'm out for real.
Yo, hey, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't want to take too much more tonight on this conversation, but I appreciate everybody's input, man. But Jay, I know we could go a whole nother hour about that. All right, so I'm gonna head it over to Princess and Lewis, man. They taking us through the topics of the night. Princess and Lewis, the world is y'all.
You can take the first one, Lewis.
All right. You got the video, Kenan?
Yeah, I can play it right now. Let me know when you're
All right,
ready.
guys. So we are a post college basketball, women's college basketball season. We had a lot of interesting things go on. One thing in particular was Angel Reese from the LSU women's basketball team. So we're going to watch some commentary from one of our sports journalists, former athlete, and then I want to get some takes on that perspective because I had one that was very interesting, and I would love to hear from you guys. So, Kenan, if you want to cue it up, man, we'll get to it.
Racially indifferent take. I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Now, if you want to say, well, Acho, cater your take based upon gender, Acho, cater your take based upon race, I will understand that. But I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Angel Reese, you can't beat a big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because if you want to act grown, which she has, if you want to get paid like you grown, which you are, if you want to talk to grown folks like you grown, which you did post-game when you told a coach for an opposing team, watch your mouth. If you want to tell people get your money up, then post-game when you take an L, you just got to take it on the chin. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed to be the villain. Shout out to you because you are the second best basketball player on the court, and it was not close. Outside of Caitlin Clark, it was you. 17 and 20, dog. Showed up, biggest game, second biggest game of your career. Absolute dog, but you can't under any circumstance.
Thoughts. That was the end of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was it. So, how are y'all familiar with her?
Yes.
She's been real popular. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So, she is someone who's very vocal. She is. They won the championship last year. She brought a lot of notoriety to the game, to the sport, and she's unapologetically herself. right? So there was an incident recently in the tournament where she told the coach, watch your mouth.
Especially if it's something that I wanted to do. Didn't really come off as a mistake. I did something that I was intentional about. I created this over here. I did this said thing. And then you never know. That's a whole nother ball game. But I had too much fun one night and I went and did something. I can't make a decision. You know, I did something one night that I need to come clean about because I feel terrible about it.
Right.
F1, I appreciate you tapping in. I just think that's dangerous. Like, because in reality, I'm not really returning the love that you feel. What's y'all thoughts on the comment? Asia, like, bro, Asia, like, gutter with it, boy.
Yeah. First of all, just to throw that out there, Asia's next boyfriend needs to be a Catholic priest. Because he needs to be invested in the Lord. Just want to go and put it out there. Honestly, I the comment to me, I kind of agree with what you're saying, Keenan. For me, it would be more so like you intentionally wanted to do something, you did it, and then you held out purposely. And then I will also feel not only betrayed, but you just feel like a bozo. I mean, you just feel like all the times we laugh and enjoy, it's like you start to reminisce and think like, well, damn, like, okay, were you happy in this moment? Like, well, what caused this to happen? And all of these things start going through your mind. And then you realize 10 years that you've been the happy one, but how do you know that person was happy? Because obviously they stepped out. So how do you, what made them bring that happiness back to you? That they had a one night stand or maybe an affair? You know?
110%, bro.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Do not self-incriminate.
Never.
That's crazy.
Never.
That's crazy, son.
Hey, Keenan said.
Can I just say this to that statement y'all keep making? I just think it's wild to say that after we just had a whole conversation. It's not the same thing. But then we talk about people like Diddy that did not self-incriminate, and then y'all see, and once again, not the same situation, but like, and here y'all go, oh yeah, like how can you do this?
There's a difference. Hold on, wait. There's a difference. No, if you were being accused of something that you did, right, and you own it, it's different. But no one's going to voluntarily tell you that they made that type of mistake. It's a different situation. Right, he was accused of something and things that he did, right, and he denied it. But if you are, and this is just me, this now I'm speaking on behalf of myself. If I did something, right, and it's brought to light, then I have to own it. Then I feel like it's my responsibility to own it. But I'm not voluntarily telling anything. That's crazy.
AJ, I'm gonna go in another route. I was just joking. That I was just playing. I'm just playing. Hey, look, I wasn't serious. Yes, sir. When he gone, I'll be talking again. All right. All right. So everyone is still tapping in. Sometimes pain can cause us to reshape our experiences to fit our current narrative, while we are just to feel how we feel. What does carrying those feelings result in? Secondly, and what should you do to escape those negative emotions? I think it's just betrayal, yo. Like you can't build anything on a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like all trolling aside, like you can't build anything on a lie. And let me acknowledge this. I truly do understand where you're saying, like, basically, I'm going to enjoy the happy times. This didn't happen. I'm gonna keep my memories and walk this way. But it would be hard from a human aspect to think that you would get that type of information later and not question every moment that you're saying you'll sit on. Mm-hmm. Like all those moments that you had with this person when they come out and say, yeah, I just got finished kissing her in the mouth right before I kissed you in the mouth. That kiss ain't gonna feel the same no more. It's just not.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right. So, man, next we have some video reactions. Our next segment is video. All right. So what we have now, man, y'all know recently we talked about on a different episode where Tia, and tell me Tia's ex-husband's name.
I'm not sure, but Corey.
Corey. So she recently posted this video on social media, and let's see how people are feeling about it.
Before you get into the video, can we ask you where you got your sounds from?
Canva. They locked in there. It's called Copyright.
Copyright. Okay. We just wanted to know. Somebody told me to ask that question.
I got it from City Trends. Where you got that shirt?
He's covered in tattoos. Where? He has an accent. He has chicken legs. Where? He's covered in tattoos. Where? He has an accent. Where? He has long hair. Ooh, where? He's not famous. Where? He has a nose ring. Where? He's trash. Where? He's a bad boy. Where? That was too much. All right, so this is my question, y'all. We know what's going on. Appreciate everybody tapping in right now. Thank you all, man. Hit a like, subscribe if you have not. Appreciate everybody that's tapping in with us. Bro, is this trollish to her ex-husband, or y'all think she's just having a good time and sharing it? Because like we should. So the caption was guilty pleasure. What's yours? I'm not saying people don't got them. Why she got?
No, I don't want to go to sleep. No, I don't want to go to sleep.
Okay, why? What's wrong? What are you
Because I want to watch my phone. I don't want to go to
No,
sleep.
Australia, you have school tomorrow. Okay?
Give me the phone. What is she doing? No! She's being very rebellious. Where you get an attitude from, Scarlett? Shut up. Who are you talking to?
Babe.
Who's this kid? This kid's really dancing my face tonight. Scarlett, who are you talking to? You. Who are you talking to? Huh? Really, who are you talking to? Did you just say shut up? Did you just say shut up to me just now? I'm talking to you. Oh, hell. Did she just spit on me just now? Yes. Are you out of your freaking mind? Do that. You do that. I'm gonna hurt her. Hell. What shit is this? Grab it.
I'm gonna do it.
I got it. You do it. She's spitting my face, not yours.
You should not be dealing with a kid on the anger.
She just spitting my face,
You
right?
need to calm.
Hell nah, man.
Hey yo.
Hey, Britt, you picked the right one, Britt. You picked the right one.
Come on, man.
Disciplining
Come
y'all
on,
children.
God.
Initial thoughts before I even ask the question that's attached to the video. What are your initial thoughts after seeing that clip?
Nah, man. Yeah.
Asia, we
I'll,
gonna start.
I'll,
We gonna
I'll
start
let the
with you,
people. Okay, I was gonna say I'll let the people with kids go first, but go ahead.
That stressed me all the way out. Like that stressed me all the way out because that just stressed me all the way out. No, I do not have kids. I don't know if I'm qualified in whatever ways, but at the
You
same time,
qualify. You got sense.
like,
You ain't gotta have kids
my
when you got
boy,
sense.
like, first of all, she would have got popped. She would have got popped the first time when she told me to shut up. Second of all, I'm putting a muzzle over her mouth because that's crazy. Where did you learn that from? Why did you think that was okay? And my thing is, when after the mom, this is why I think it's so important to have conversations about how to discipline your kids with your partner, because she screamed at the daughter, right, after she did it. But then when he went to actually discipline her, you know what I'm saying? Then she's telling him in front of the child, mind you, you need to calm down. You need to da-da-da-da. So now the daughter who just spit in homeboy's face is also seeing her mom yelling at the dad. Like, I'm stressed. That's disgusting. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you, yo. I have a very hard time imagining what I would do if my child did something like that. Like, bro, let me tell you. First, I promise you, I hope you enjoy that spit because all them teeth going down your throat off the rip. I'm telling you right now. Secondly, this is the thing about, and hey, look, I'm putting myself all the way out there. I ain't calling it vulnerability. I'm telling the truth, bro. So that's a girl. I don't have a daughter. Let me say that. I'm coming off as if it was my son, one of my sons. When I'm pops, I will imagine some form of this, fellas. Y'all speak to that when it comes like. Baby, I love you, but this ain't got nothing to do with you right now. You can go ahead. I don't need you in here. I hear you. Once you went against how I was about to discipline, you can go ahead and exit the room because I love you, but this ain't got nothing to do with you right now. Because he gonna learn this today. For sure. And I want you to think every time you think about spitting, I want you to think about a tooth coming out. That's what it is. Nah, dog. Every time, nah. I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like, nah, see, it's certain things you can't. The phone thing, like kids throw tantrums, that's normal. It's certain human things you just don't do. Dentist, I sent you a dentist appointment. Lewis, would your reaction be different because it was a girl?
Yeah, I have to treat that situation with a certain level of caution. Man, I'm really trying to, because we're on camera, so I got to make sure I answer this the right way. I have had spurts as a parent that I'm not proud of. I'm gonna be honest with you. Given my initial reaction and temper for someone that I'm taking care of and providing for, and I don't tolerate disrespect, and nor will I be disrespectful. Right. So I think it's important that we create an environment of that. But if it was my daughter, which thankfully, she is not like that at all, the polar opposite, it would require a certain level of restraint. I think I would have to remove myself from a situation like that because I'm still human. Don't tolerate disrespect from children or anyone. And, I'd have to remove myself before I could truly parent in that moment and really identify what the best approach is to that situation. Just to be honest with you. And I hate to get so serious, but that's really the best answer I can give for something like that.
Oh man, yeah.
That's a good answer.
That was a very politically correct answer.
Yeah. Everybody's like, good answer. Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Thank y'all.
No,
it's up there.
No,
it's up there.
No, but seriously, Louis, that really was a good answer, and I could see that with you being a man and the amount of force, all of those things. But
yeah,
opposite of the video, that is the moment that the wife, the baby mama, girl, like whoever, should have stepped in as the woman. Yes. And corrected her, not on oh my God, like don't touch her.
Bless that mouth. Bless that mouth.
Yep, smack the shit out of her. So I don't have no kids. I can say it. So
nah, for real though, real talk.
No, I'm so serious, and I just feel like I get the times that we're living in right now. But when I was growing up, there was at no point would I have been able to tell my mama to shut up. Stuff like that was on Dr. Phil. Okay. It wasn't a cute Instagram reel. But no, if I would have told my mama to shut up, I wouldn't have been able to get the spit out. Hear me when I say it. Soon as my mouth would have been like, it would have been like, boop, like head would have been across the room. So I don't understand the whole super gentle parenting thing where it's just like, oh, like, no, calm down. Like, no, she just spit on her father or whoever he is in her life. Yeah. And that's not okay.
I agree.
But if you spit on anyone, that's the thing that I think that gets lost.
That too, yeah.
That gets lost, right? Because the way we grew up or the way I was raised, I feel like some of that was unwarranted. Some of the discipline methods, right? Yeah. However, being a parent, I understand some of them are because there is consequence to spitting on someone in life. Not just me.
I'm glad you said that.
Right? You spit on someone as an adult, that's a form of assault. And if you spit on the right one, they're going to put some teeth down your throat. Right?
So this is the thing, Louis. I'm glad you said. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Some of that is some of those are lessons that because you're around me and displaying this behavior around me, I have to teach you this lesson human to human. Right?
Yeah. And the lesson is do that and your ass might get whooped right after it in the real world.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. And unfortunately, you put me in a position as a parent where now I have to give you the lesson about what happens when that takes place. You know what I'm saying? The realest thing I ever said to my son, I'm being vulnerable. We done had a lot of situations happen over here at the Black South home. But I will say this. He disrespected his mom. And I walked up to him and I said, do you think I would let another man disrespect your mom? What do you think I'd do if someone did that to her? So what makes you think I'm going to let you disrespect her? Think about it.
That's real.
Yeah. Think about that. Think about that. Don't you ever do that shit again.
Yeah.
And that's where we left it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
It's funny,
wait,
man.
hold on.
Me?
Lewis was about to go in place, right? I was like, let me think about my actions. I feel like I'm in trouble.
I
And
never
Lewis had
thought
us up here
about.
thinking we done disrespected somebody. I'm
But
like,
my
did I
thing
cut
is,
somebody
I
out?
never thought I would have to say that to my son, but it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna let you're not gonna ever see me let another man disrespect her. What makes you think you're gonna do it? So now I gotta talk to you as a human being, right?
Yeah.
It kind of felt weird, in the moment, but I meant what I said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you what's wrong. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with me as a person, parent, it all. To me, I really do. I love everything you said, Lewis. I think that's really the legitimate way. I think there's certain points in life where a good ass whooping just fix it. Like if I see a kid just wild, I'm like, oh, you just need your ass whooped. You ain't met the right one. Cause that should have changed. If you get a good one, it changed your mind. Like, oh, I ain't doing that no more. Even if it ain't from an adult, like just do something that you ain't know something was coming right behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
Like bullies.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank
They
you.
need to bully
Princess,
the
they
right
do it because
person.
thank
Yep.
you.
And they get their
And you
ass
ain't gonna
beat. They think twice
and
about
you're gonna turn into a Jehovah's Witness tomorrow. You ain't hit
Mm-hmm.
nobody else after that. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I
Hey,
promise
kid.
you.
Hey.
Let me tell you my problem, man. When I see certain kids, I'm like, oh, my first thought is, oh, you just ain't had your ass whooped enough.
Yep.
And 79.8% of the time, that changes it. Because let me tell you the thing about gentle
Yo,
parents.
where you go with these numbers?
I'm telling you.
That boy that got on that soapbox, boy.
Hey, he said
this is
79.8.
Hey, let me tell you
I'm
about
listening.
gentle parenting. Gentle parenting works with gentle kids. If you don't have no
Mhm.
gentle child, that gentle parenting does not work.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
My
good.
oldest son will probably get whooped once a year for the rest of his life. You can just talk to him. If you feed a kid, got bad grades, I think my parents gonna be disappointed in me. You ain't really got to push him too much.
Mm-hmm.
My second child, I can't say on camera. He got a lot of me in him. Cool. But like what people try to throw around gentle parenting, but like that's like saying you can raise every child the same way. You can't just sit around and talk to every kid, dog.
Nah, that's true.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Does me. I don't care.
But that's
And
what I'm
what
saying.
got
Like, I think
what
that's
got me is sis looked shocked when she spit. She looked shocked, like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. The girl is not 2, right? She got to
No.
be like 10, 11. So this obviously is learned behavior. Sis been doing this. You haven't been disciplining your child. I don't single mom, married boyfriend, whatever it is. You're clearly not parenting her the way in which she needs to be taught, because for again, saying shut up is disrespectful. She's going to embarrass you in public because she's doing it at home. So what would make you think that she would have respect for this man? One thing I wanted to redirect the conversation, because I heard you guys talk from like a parent standpoint, but what I got from the video, this is very much a stepdad in the home.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you all feel about being on the same page when it comes to parenting in general? I know you all are very much, have beautiful families where both children come from the same wife, but how do you feel about being on the same page when it comes to parenting? If your wife doesn't agree with what you just said, because Lewis, for example, with you, she may want to handle things differently with her daughter, woman to girl to female to female, right? But then you stepped in and you had an instant reaction, and she doesn't agree with that. How do y'all?
Yeah. I'm a product of us. So I had I think all of us did, my boys. But I was the child with the step parent at one point in my life, right? And it was a man, right? And there were a lot of incidents where not everybody agreed on things.
Okay.
Often. And I don't think we ever found a place where that was established. So it's tricky, right? Especially with the same sex, right? And even a young lady going into womanhood, a young man going into manhood. I mean, it's a really blurred line. So I don't know if there is a way. I think there has, because some situations you're not prepared for.
Right.
Some situations you can't have a conversation about everything because you don't know how it's going to affect you until it arises. So I think that it takes a special type of person to come into a situation and commit to someone and understand how to parent someone who they're not familiar with. I feel like the advantage I have with my, like Keenan kind of alluded to, the tendencies that my son has, I can relate to because I probably had them or his mom had them. But when you bring a step parent into it, they're probably not predisposed to those tendencies. So they don't know how to react. So they may take everything personal. When that child's father could recognize or identify some of those things and maybe respond to it differently. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think in this situation, in the video that you provided, I think up until it gets to disrespectful to the step parent, right? I think that, in my experience, it's best to be handled by that child's parent first, right? Because I know for me, shout out to my stepdad. Now we good, but when that dude would intervene in something my mom and I was trying to overcome, I'm like, you ain't even in this, bro. Chill. You know what I'm saying? He had a right to be, but even if the intent was good, I wasn't gonna hear it because you ain't my pops. You ain't my dad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't trust you like that. I don't trust that you trying to help me. I just feel like you're just trying to say something. You know what I'm saying?
So can I? Oh, go ahead, Princess. No, you go ahead, Princess.
You sure?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does it change the fact? Like, I don't know at what point he came into your life, Lewis. So, meaning if he was there from maybe since you were maybe like 5, I think that looks a lot different than your mom remarrying when you're in high school,
Right. No,
or in middle
agreed.
school. So, was that the
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, he was introduced to me when I was around 8, but when we all kind of cohabitated, I was in high school. So I was coming into a minute. So it was a different,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. And we all used to watch Baby Boy all the time. And we just, I don't know, we all just thought we was these characters.
Come on,
For some
chill.
reason.
Hey, losing it, mama. Yeah, that's right. Scream for your
You
mama.
caught him in there cooking them eggs.
Hey, but hey, you crazy, Jay. I'm gonna put my educator hat on for 1 second. Lewis said something that kills the argument of everything. Even from an education standpoint, step parent standpoint, kids don't learn from people they don't trust. So when he was like, "I don't trust you to help me," it don't really matter. Now, in that very same regard, this is where it gets a little choppy, right? Most women that have a child that's doing single mother the right way, or even if the father's in the life, they always say we come as a package. My thing, the way I would view that is, that's cool. Come on as the package, but you gotta let if I'm there and I care and I love your child, you gotta allow me to be a parent, not they dad. You gotta allow me to be a parent. Now, I think a lot of people want the acceptance, but don't want the parental aspect neither. Because it's not fair to me to be in the house, provide, be nothing but positive, loving, and caring, creating that relationship, but you get to draw a line every time you feel like it's right. You chop my leg every time you feel like it's right. Because if that's a step parent, that kid is only going to do either what she's seen happen or what you allow. That's only two things she's going to do. And a lot of times, stepmoms and dads come around and like, they a parent when it's all well and good, but let something go left. It's like, oh, no, it's my kid now. Can't be like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like even like, and I said it before, but like there has to be a level of communication, but not just that, because you also have those people, right, that will say like, oh yeah, no, like you can discipline them, or you can, you are like the other adult in the house, and then when situations actually happen, they renege on what they said and what the whole conversation. And so it's like, if you are going to have someone else that is entering your life and your child's or your children's lives, it is having that conversation of like, okay, what does discipline actually look like? And you as the parent, you have to be realistic with what you trust. Because even if the child, let's say the child trusts you, if you don't trust that person, because for instance, she might be looking at her man like, no, you have anger issues for real. So I don't trust that you're going to discipline my daughter in a way that you can have restraint. I don't trust that. So that could also be why her reaction was that, right? And so I think it's also about the level of trust that the parent has with the step parent when it comes to their children.
Oh, okay. That was good, Asia.
Yeah,
It's
and
good.
things like that get me. It's like, why you with somebody? If they got anger issues, I'm not saying people can't fix things, but it's like you accepted it. You knew he had anger issues when you brought your child into this.
But do you know the depth of people's like for instance, like I cannot speak on how I would raise a child right now because I don't have one. Like I can in my head I can say what I think, but until it actually happens, I really don't know. So like for
AJ,
me,
I
I guess
disagree with that so
sometimes
much. I'm sorry to cut you off. One of my things I used to hate that my friends used to say when I didn't have kids was like, you'll understand when you a dad. And Asia, I promise you, just saying this from me to you, nobody else. Don't listen to that shit. You got common sense. You're responsible. The things that you will probably pour into your child are very reasonable and they made sense. The things I used to say pre-child, people, oh, you understand. Oh, you don't know, you ain't got kids. I do the exact same thing now because I got sense. So I'm saying that to say, like, I don't feel like you can't speak on parenting because you don't have a kid. Granted, parent, it's different, but like you still have morals, values, and principles that you're going to instill. That's where it started at. So I wouldn't like, you know what I'm saying?
I guess I hear that part and I hear that part. What I'm saying is in the context of like this, like you said, like she knew that he had anger issues. What I'm saying is sometimes we don't know the level or the extent of a thing until we're in very specific situations.
Oh, gotcha.
For instance, like, so I don't know the level of like if my child talks back to me the first time, like in my head, I could have all this therapeutic stuff to say, but then if it actually happens, I might be like, yo, little nigga, like, who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't know what's going to come out in that very moment. That's what I'm saying.
I
just
agree.
said it. Shitting me.
I thought I would be much better.
Whatever you say to somebody on the street, you say to your child when they piss you off. What? You got me fucked up. anything you say, AJ, am I lying?
Nah, that's true as hell.
Like, because of what thing people don't tell about parenting, bro, kids pluck. They tear that nerve up, bro. And it's just to the point like, hey, bro, like, what you on, dog? Like,
hey, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Like, bro, I promise you, true story, bro. This was a great question. I'm sorry. Story time tonight. This happened this week. I'm driving to go get haircuts on last Thursday.
To this day.
And I'm riding, and my kid is in this advocacy stage. I'm going down there, I ain't gonna say something, man. I was like, hey, man, hey, such and such, you better watch yourself. He said, no, you watch yourself.
No.
Hey, let me tell you, man. I put that car in park in the middle of the street. And we're gonna let see, you know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah.
Say the what? Because I need him to know if he ever think about that saying again, what follows. I'm telling you. Nah, dog. Yeah. He said it. No, he was like, no, you watch yourself.
Yeah, so he tired of this.
I would have been dying.
Yo,
I'll tell y'all my stories offline. I can't even do it.
Hey, Princess, I'm gonna tell you what got me. My wife on the car was like, ooh. So it put me on super tent. Now I gotta prove, you know what?
Hey,
like, you don't let her hear it. Hey, look, we gotta work something out if ain't nobody hear it. Yeah. But you gonna let her hear it. Now I got to show you what's up.
Now I gotta put the car in park.
You know what I'm saying? Now I got
to looking at you like, I thought you was head of household. You following that on the
God, bro. Hey, Jay, don't be projecting what be going on with you. Don't be projecting.
Hey, nah, I'm not gonna lie. I was just about to jump in though. Having girls is completely different because that mouth gets reckless. Oh my God. Yeah. And it's like having those moments with my daughters, especially my oldest child, she just started middle school, and man, hormones are jumping, different things are happening. And I called her the other day. She was in the kitchen washing dishes, and I told her to do something kind of similar to what you said, right? Like I told her to do something, and she responded back and said like, it wasn't like what, but it was like she started yelling and talking. So I got up off the couch like, hey, who the fuck you ain't talking to? I had a moment. And then when kids get scared, they just say random shit. She was like, I was talking to my sister. Whole time, Mackenzie was nowhere to be found. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, why would you just randomly? She was so scared because of how I reacted. So I'm going back to y'all point. When you're in that moment, you don't know how you're going to react. To go back to the video real quick for me, I told Brittany this off camera. stepdad, step stool, step ladder, I would have tore that damn ass up. I don't care what type of steps we was on, with that in the face, crazy as hell. Hey, Brittany, am I lying?
Go ahead, man.
You said it.
I'd have stepped on that ass.
Hey, you stupid, boy. You stupid, Jay. He said step stool, step ladder. Hey, I hope y'all know what Lewis silence means.
Yeah. We get it.
We get it, though. You want to hit him with...
Yeah, man. I love my baby, though. But parenting is a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It just comes with some stuff. Like,
yes.
DC, it gives you a full behind-the-scenes look of everything we did and all the vibes we bring in the NC, man. So now, let's get into it. All right. Hey, look. So your boy Cam Newton been hot this whole week. And boy, I'm gonna be honest. Before I show this clip, let me just express my disappointment. I was such a big Cam Newton fan as a Panthers fan, bro. I had no idea. Bro. So Cam Newton this week recently had a interview with Dr. Brown. I think she's a psychologist, if I'm not mistaken. And he was kind of going through a conversation, and then he got on his kid, his marriage situation. We're gonna watch a clip, and then we're gonna give our thoughts on Cam Newton and the craziness he done said this week.
Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give
No.
attentions away from this? Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yeah, some more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I thought I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now,
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm
just
saying,
want God
about
to
your
bring
wife.
him. I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
So before I go on, she goes on to explain to him how he's not taking his time.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna open it up, bro. What's y'all thoughts on Cam saying what he said? I ain't gonna call it ignorance just yet. Damn, bro. Is everybody as disappointed as I am?
Yeah, I'll go, man. I was very disappointed. Honestly, I think that I don't know if he was just mixing his podcast 4th and 1 with his real life, and he forgot what reality was. But him explaining that situation of basically saying, "Hey, I have 8 kids, 3 baby mamas, correct?"
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wants more, but he said his fear for divorce is higher than his fear for marriage. But the thing is he crossed it with saying, "I'm just taking my time," but in reality, you're not taking your time because you don't. I feel like he would have just been better off saying, "Hey, I just don't want to get married. This is the lifestyle I would like to live. This is my truth." Because he sounds like a clown.
So this is my thing, bro. I got a couple of things that I kind of disagree with how Cam shot at that, man. So this is my thing. Hey, I forgot the comedian. Her name is Jasmine. I forget her last name.
Watch Jazzy, Jazz Brown.
Yeah, first, bro, like the fact that somebody's comfortable enough to go say these things publicly when I'm supposed to be with you is insane. Step 1. 2, the craziest part to me is like, no offense, bro. I'm a huge fan of Cam Newton. I'm trying not to say was, but like, bro's past say he don't really do the settling thing. Like, he was in a relationship before, didn't get married, had multiple children with her, had a baby on her, then left, got into this situation, and he talking crazy about her before she even, like, is that baby even one yet?
Not yet.
No.
I just hate when dudes get money and make the brokenness okay. Like, bro, you look crazy saying that stuff, dog. Why you gotta say it out loud? And she look even crazier dancing the next day to King George. Gotta have 3 women.
That's my song.
Ain't that his name? It is. I ain't gonna lie. It's mine
It's
too.
King George.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like, in the video when she broke down like broken families, he kind of looked crazy, and she's like, "You just like creating all these babies, like, oh." So, ladies, Does money mean that much? No matter what comes with it. I'm just asking.
Asia, that was a
Oh,
good giggle.
look at them chicklets.
Look at
I'm
him.
giggling for another reason.
Okay, talk to me.
I'm giggling because this makes me think about the balloon pop video.
Okay.
It's literally the same thing. It's just a man with money.
That's
But
also
that's
why I'm giggling over here. That's the only thing I could think about as I was
Yeah.
watching it the whole time.
And
The
it's
whole
actually even worse because it's 8 kids.
Not all of them are biologically
and
his.
he wants more. He doesn't care how he gets. He just wants God to bring him.
I got. Well, that's
Asian
wild.
being petty.
Hey, Princess, can I push back a little bit? I think the difference is in the pop the balloon and this is like the guy didn't want that because of the women are accepting this though. Isn't that a difference?
What I'm saying
Okay,
is
go ahead.
that
I'm sorry.
the disappointment for the women who had the multiple baby daddies for the balloon pop video is what I'm saying. It's the same
Okay.
thing.
Got you.
Okay.
It's
Right.
just
Yeah.
he's the man who has multiple baby mamas.
So does
It
money
doesn't
mean that much?
matter. Does money mean that much?
Yeah.
No. To some, yeah.
Okay.
Some women
Asian.
take it as in they would rather be a single mom by a man with money than be a single mom by a man who's not going to contribute anything.
Which she
Asia,
has
Lewis,
said that
what's up?
before too.
Bro,
You said
she
who,
just
In
who,
an
who
interview,
said
she
that
said that
before?
before. The
Oh,
his
that
is that his fiance or his I'm not sure.
I don't know what she is. Baby
Yeah, but
mama.
anyway, she had said that. Like she said like family
That's no
members.
shade. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
for
know.
real, I
I
don't either.
don't
But she
follow
said
her
like
like that.
family members and friends have said that to her, but she was like, I mean, yeah, he has all these kids, but he's a millionaire though. Y'all say that when y'all meet a millionaire.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing when like your man cheats on you. It's like, would you rather cry in a Honda or are you gonna cry in your Porsche?
Yo, that's insane, man. Asia Lewis, I know you. I know,
It's,
Princess. I know it's true. You know what's so
I'm being
crazy?
serious.
I know
Yeah.
you are,
People
but
think like that.
they do. I believe you.
Is it a
It's
V6
just like,
or a 4-cylinder?
yo, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. Asia Lewis, what's y'all thoughts, man? I hear y'all pretty quiet on it. What's y'all thoughts on your boy Cam?
No, yeah, I have the same thoughts that Princess had. I was just, super disappointed, but it's not like Nick Cannon, same thing. Like we've seen this before. I think that now more people are open to actually just like more men are open to discussing that they are really here to just plant seeds and then flourish the earth. Marriage is not top priority, but I think responding to that, I think then that is why you have some women that getting married is no longer, like, oh yeah, like I cannot wait to meet my husband, right? It seems more likely that they will become a baby mom than they will become a wife. Especially if we're talking about, because remember the whole conversation a while ago was this high value man, right? And now you have these quote unquote high value men having these types of conversations that they're not necessarily ready to have a wife, but they are super ready and have been, ready to have kids. So
Yeah. What about you, Lewis? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Man, I got a lot of thoughts.
Go ahead. Hey, go ahead.
I don't agree with what he's doing by any means. I think it's saying they come from God is a total slap in the face of his current baby mother, which it seems like they're in a situationship. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a slap in the face for her. To Asia and P's point, Princess's point, I think it's a little different than the other scenarios with the balloon pop because like Cam Newton and Nick Cannon are intentionally doing this, right? And I think they have status and they are probably being approached more in that capacity to do that when the females that were in that scenario before were asked about the situations, they kind of were making excuses about why they made the decisions to have kids. These two are more intent. They're purposely doing it. They're doing it with intent. Seems like they didn't, or those situations that they were encountering were not intentional. So I will say that's maybe the difference that I see in the scenarios. One thing, I watched the whole video. First off, Cam is not as smart as he thinks he is, and the doctor was eating his ass alive. That video, right?
Yeah, she was,
Because
bro. She was.
she was approaching it with truth, and he was approaching it with his perspective and what he would like for it to be. But I will say this: when you are a man of status and of value, you have a lot of decisions to make about the life that you want to live. And I think about me, and like, I ain't even nowhere close to a level like that. And the challenges I would have turning away things, and how if I was single and you know making, and if I was making, you know, like this millions of dollars a year, who would I be at that time? Right? If I could have whatever I want, who I wanted, when I wanted, and I could afford to do it, and I could take care of them, would I be the same? Because biblically, the smartest man, the wisest man ever, Solomon, did the same thing. So in my mind, I'm like, what is it that, as a man, that feeds into our ego that makes us want to, I don't say conquer, but really have it all? Like when it comes to women and children, like what is it that about that? And I can understand it just a little bit from an ego perspective, like to have associates. I think to Asia's point, to have like me represented in a mass amount of ways, but at the same time, love and being monogamous, I see tremendous value in that, because that's really what's been my only choice, to be honest with you. That's just me. I'm just throwing that perspective out there. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if I was in that position to where I could do that, you know, if that was on the table, I don't know how I would react or respond to it, to be honest with you.
So,
Go
go ahead, Princess.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, no, somebody said, hey, what up, Missy? Appreciate you typing in. Go ahead, Princess.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, my only thought to that is people don't know what they would do until they are in someone else's shoes. But I think about it like, you don't want to just pick one and just keep multiplying. Think about Russell Wilson. He gonna put a baby in Sierra anytime he can.
That's a fact.
And they can keep on doing it over and over and over again, because both of them have the income to do so. So it's like, for me, it's a mentality thing. Like, I get it. You want to be fruitful and multiply, but you could still, even if you don't want to be in a committed relationship with a woman, you could pick your one baby mom and keep having kids by the same mom.
Yeah.
But they're choosing to do the opposite.
And can I just say, to that point too, like to Princess's point, and to respond to something that Lewis said, because even like Solomon, right? Like the person that you're referring to, with him doing all that, it was really an experiment, right? To see like, okay, like is it all that it should be?
It was
right?
all vanity. He said it was vanity.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point, right? So even with him doing all that and him having all the things, he said it's all vanity. Meaning that it is like it's not even that. And so I think, to Princess's point, the idea of, if you do want to replenish the earth, then sure, do so. Because, Lewis, on the other side of what you're saying about like the men and them having status and them being able to do the things, are the women, right? Because now, let's say in Cam's case in point, let's say all those women now want to, they're like, you know what? All right, fine. Like but I do want to fall in love. I do want to get married. And now they all already, when they involve themselves with a man like Cam Newton, they already have two baby dads, him and then the person that they actually fall in love with, possibly, right? And so for them, it's kind of like, if you're going to be one of those types of men, then think about who's on the other side of that. It's the women that are now in position of like, okay, well, now I won't have that marriage and all those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
I got one more thing to say before I end my portion. I will say this: for someone of his stature, and I'm glad Russ found Sierra, and that's really sounds more of an anomaly for people in that position. if I am Cam Newton and I'm this big star and I'm a millionaire, when I'm looking for love, it's going to be hard to find that sometimes in some instances. And how can I build? How can I know whomever I'm with is really here for me, right? As well. So sometimes the path of least resistance is just to do it that way. You know what I mean, too. So that's something I thought about, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm not saying that this is mentality. That would be something I'd be worried about too. Are you really here for me?
So let me
Right?
ask one.
Yeah.
My bad, Louis. I just thought about something while you were talking. So he
Mhm.
had a fear of divorce, right? Probably because, like you said, man of that stature, man of that status, losing everything, right? But having multiple kids, he's still going to be put on child support. So he's still going to be in a financial bond either way he looks at it. So I don't understand where his fear is coming from. Because if we're saying about the money, right? He's afraid of losing it all doing what? He's still going to have to divide that money up because he has multiple baby mamas. So I'm sure he's paying something towards those kids, right?
Yeah, but I think the gamble is being on paper saying I got to pay this one thing versus putting up all I have and risking it. That's what I would think the thought is. Like, if Jay, you're right. You are coming up off something, but like, athletes and people finesse and finagle that all the time. But also, it's like I'd rather be on paper saying 10,000 a month versus I marry you and you get half the 100 million I got.
It's a big difference. Yo.
I'd rather pay 10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
especially if he gets married now, right? Because if he marries someone else that's outside of this equation, he's going to lose a lot more.
Yeah.
For sure. What up, Britt? What up, Britt? But I know you have some thoughts. Go ahead, hit us with your thoughts on Cam.
I was chiming in a little bit. I heard Princess, so I don't know if you guys touched on it or not, but I think people are forgetting that he's legit deprived, and y'all might have said this. He's depriving these kids, right? Like, that's the bigger picture. Is he's depriving these kids of having a father figure in their home. Not only that, like, you're making a conscious choice as an adult to satisfy yourself. So, like, by you doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's selfishness. The therapist, doctor, whatever that was in front of her hit it right spot on. But I just feel like looking at him express his feelings about it. He got shut down. It boggles my mind to try and understand how men have a fear of like it. I don't know, like a fear of getting married. And that it's a bigger commitment than being a father. I feel like the ultimate commitment is being a father. I mean, yes, in a different way, right? You're committed.
No, I agree with that.
Versus your kids. It's crazy to me that you're fearful of committing, marriage. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain my thoughts, but I just thought the whole concept was crazy. And then you got Jasmine over here two-stepping, line dancing with him. Like, girl, all of y'all look crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think discretion goes a long way. I think when you put it on Front Street the way it's being put on, it's like it's hard to digest. Like, damn, dog, like, you blatantly disrespect. And I really feel bad for the woman he was with, who he was like in a real strong relationship with, and had like his first three. I always say this, and I'll leave it at that. Her and Mariah have to feel crazy because I know they didn't think they signed up for that. Like, bro, like, dog, like, now I got all this. My kids got all these siblings now. You know what I mean? That was never in the plan. It's kind of like you can't treat a kid no way because the parent decided to do something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. That is super crazy to me.
Yeah, and
super
it also I don't know if he said it in the interview because I didn't watch the entire thing, but it makes me wonder, as he's going from woman to woman, is he giving those women like their fair chance where he's like dating them and they're all thinking they're the one for him, and then they get pregnant, and then after they get pregnant, it's like, oh, like, I don't want you like that.
I don't think he's had an interview before where he talked about the first person he was with, and that's why they split, because he initially thought that he was going to commit, but he found out he wasn't ready. So, but I don't know as far as the other two, you know what I mean? But the thing about Watch Jazzy though, man, she was a big advocate for women, and she seemed like a really strong and dominant woman in personality. She started modeling for Savage Fenty. I started following her a little bit more closely, but then I seen that take a turn.
Catalog, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen that take a turn, and I'm like, damn,
hell,
you
man.
really? It's like you fell for that. You know what I mean? It's just
they always flip when that bread get involved, dog. That's
They
why
do.
you can't listen to that stuff. They
No, they
always
do.
flip when that bread get involved. Like, I don't care. I don't care who, what, how. You may not flip all the way to the dark side, but you're gonna do some flipping when that bread get involved. That's just what it is.
I agree. I agree.
My advice is stay off camera with it. Like, you do
Yeah.
not that.
Yeah.
You look crazy.
Yeah.
You look crazy, dog. Like, go back,
Made her whole,
man.
didn't she make her like comedy something baby mama?
Third time the charm.
Like,
Mhm.
why are you trying to monetize off of this? It's not funny. Like, you look crazy.
Yeah, and the last thing is like, it make you think like, damn, I get she wasn't making Cam Newton money, but like, was you doing all right in your comedic career? Like, damn, you want like straight where you can chill on your own a little bit? Like, you gonna,
yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because it go back to the point we had the fair or foul we had a couple weeks ago, where the ringless engagement, and it's kind of like, damn, what's the real goal? It can't be the man no more. Like, it ain't the man in that case, because you had that known it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the man. The goal has to be the kid / security. The kid is innocent, no judgment on the child, but like, that's really what it got to be though. The man ain't the objective on his end, and the woman's not the one for her. For the woman's not what he wants on the other end. It's just crazy. I don't see how you win in that situation. Any more thoughts on Cam?
Nah.
All right, so Jay.